I'll come when she's ready.
All right. It's giving me all the updates. Oh, I want to show you something. Look.
Oh, you got the
Oh.
Molly t-shirt. Where did
I
that
got
come
my Molly
from?
t-shirt. I'm Molly. I put it
see
on
that.
and I was like, I didn't really
Thank
need
you.
to do that.
I have been delivered popcorn. So I have popcorn and my black cherry high noons, and I'm
Oh,
set.
I
I'm
have
good to
ice
go.
cream on the way.
ice
Oh,
cream on the way.
you gotta
John brought me
love
a
a
burrito this
good,
week.
awesome. You got it beforehand?
Mm-hmm.
This is good. Now you will
So
not be starved and hangry by the end of the
I'm
show.
usually hangry anyways. It's baseline.
You know what? I'm realizing I probably cannot eat this popcorn with the mic because you're all gonna hear the popcorn.
Oh, I forgot to put my headphones on.
So I will eat that later.
By week 100, we're gonna have this down.
Debatable.
Debatable.
Hello, Colleen. Hi, AB. Hi, Melina. Someday I'll say that right.
By
What
episode
did I
100.
do? Here's my thing of blocks. I couldn't find my blocks. Got my blocks.
Oh,
They all need to be pressed. Laura's on. Yep, Gwendolyn's back. We invited Gwendolyn and Stephanie 2.0 to come on the Zoom today because Chantel and I thought we were a little boring for you all.
We keep on falling onto book
conversation.
I know, right? Pretty much.
I really can't hear the kids upstairs. John is here.
This is good.
So I shouldn't hear them, but
you know, things are what they are. My husband was wanting some attention before the show, and I told him no. And he was not going to get my attention. And he comes over and he looks and he's like, "You're on Google." And I'm like, "Yes, I'm Googling what did people do in the Middle Ages for fun. This is very important information." So
yeah, this is
what Stephanie's doing for fun these times.
Okay, so what was the answer?
Yeah, actually, what is the answer?
Many things. They played games. If you were nobility, you had more options to you, but fairs were a big deal.
So actual Renaissance fairs were a thing.
They were a thing back in the day, yes. And they usually were around festivals.
I feel like croquet.
Holidays.
Didn't they play a lot of croquet?
I don't know about that. And obviously sporting in general.
I feel like it would have gotten pretty violent at the end of games when you didn't win.
I mean, if everybody had a weapon, it certainly could happen. Especially if some mead was involved. But yes, I was trying to figure out something that my characters could go do on a hot summer day. And I was like, what could they go do?
What would they do?
Because they've been going off and drinking too much lately. We need something that isn't involved.
You know, this feels just very
alcohol.
Parallel.
Yes.
Very parallel.
Oh. Hello, Sue. But anyway, I went on a date last weekend. It was super fun. And
a lot of people have gone on dates lately, and I'm like, where's my date?
It so rarely happens when you have small children. But so we went. It's this restaurant. It's supposed to be a dive bar in Milan, which is like one of the little offshoot towns in the major
normal
metro
bar
area.
For Milan because it's all dive.
Basically. And turns out the guy who owns it is on my husband's GPS route. And my husband's like, "We're gonna go out. We're gonna go support his bar." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I did not realize, and neither did he, that the guy who runs this used to run like the hottest restaurant in like the biggest town in our area in downtown. And I'm just like, how do you not know this? Like, this is like an amazing chef who really is very good, and the food was amazing. But then we started talking, and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to buy you around." And I already had like 2 beers at this point, and then I ended up with a third. And then we're chatting. Apparently, I'm quite entertaining when I had a little too much to drink because I ended up having five beers.
Oh no, we can't do that anymore, girl.
I was fine, shockingly fine. And I may have texted Chantel a bunch of really funny stuff when I got home.
Oh, it was really good.
It was very entertaining. And
you have a safe friend with me.
And then the next morning, I'm texting her at like 8 a.m, a picture of the treadmill going proof of life.
Yeah, I was like, "Are you alive?"
What did you have from the amazing chef, though? What was your meal?
I had these tacos, which was made with beef brisket that he like
Ooh.
slow or
Oh,
like smoked himself.
oh, nice.
And like everything there was from scratch. And I was not expecting them to be deep fried because I
Oh,
was ordering it thinking
Deep
this looks
fried
like, yeah,
tacos?
deep fried tacos.
so like
I'm
a
sitting here
chimichanga type
thinking
thing.
that this is maybe going to be the healthiest thing on the menu. False. Nothing on that menu is healthy, but it was good. And I only ate one of the three tacos. So I was feeling good about myself, especially considering I had a lot of empty calories in the booze,
Yeah.
which is why I ended up at the gym the next day. But it was good. For all my other 40-year-olds who maybe drink too much on a rare night out, um, the ibuprofen at 5 a.m. with a glass of water, very good idea. Just gonna put
Yeah,
that out there.
set an alarm.
Yes. Yep. 5
If you
a.m.
don't already take your 5 a.m. ibuprofen,
You need to
this is
have
the
it.
night to do it.
So who has Chantel and I were talking about this, that there's like an upstairs ibuprofen and a downstairs ibuprofen. There's also a car ibuprofen.
Like the
Yeah.
purse ibuprofen.
Yep.
Like, do other people have like the multiple medicine cabinet thing based on
Yes.
if you have multiple floors? Or like
So
I
like
always have
I
I
always
have like a
knew
purse thing of medicine. I almost didn't get let into the concert in Phoenix because I
because they
had this
thought you
thing of
had
unmarked
like actual
medication.
drugs.
Yeah.
And like none of these are fun. This one is Benadryl. This one here is for diabetes. This one here. I'm like 40. Like I'm already embarrassed in a line full of 20 somethings that really want to go see somebody called Baby No Money. Like, please let me in. And they
Yeah.
did.
My medications are all for stomach problems. That is what my medications are
The best
for.
part is she
My
accidentally got a
ulcer.
referral
Yes,
for
I did.
a gastroenterologist. And
And then
they're
I
like,
had three
oh, do you
major
want us
things
to
wrong with
cancel
me.
it? And she's like, actually, no, I really need that appointment.
I had
I
three major things wrong with me that they discovered from my accidental referral to the gastro. And I'm just like, this is 40. This is what happens when you turn 40. Everything breaks.
the engine light comes on. Check engine
Brittany
light.
Brittany says thanks for the tips on the 5 a.m. ibuprofen.
Oh, they call them
But
Skittles at work. She works in medicine, so
that makes
she
sense.
understands. Yeah,
But
in the medical field.
I totally have the ibuprofen or Tylenol in all settings. There's the bag in the car,
Yeah,
bag in the purse. You have to have them in the bathroom and then in the
Yeah.
kitchen. Yep.
yeah, yeah.
they're
So,
in all the places.
yep, in all the places.
I have learned
I
too.
Mhm.
There's a cream called Blue Emu Cream.
Oh,
It does
love
not
it.
smell and it does not stink. And it goes on and it really actually takes away the pain.
Yes.
So
I
that
accidentally
is
bought it once.
amazing.
that's a good thing for when you get to be our
I
age.
also keep a little, like a little, those little Tupperware. I don't know if you remember back, but you
Oh
could put
yeah, I
little
know what you're
bitty,
talking
you could
about.
put your
Little itty
salad
bitty
dressing
ones.
in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep a little thing of those with coconut oil in it, and I keep
Oh,
that
that's a good
in
idea.
different spots. That way I can use it for, my skin or my lips or whatever. Coconut
Yes.
oil, so
I
diverse.
feel like in my 20s, I kept a chapstick everywhere.
Yes.
And
There's
now
a
I keep
car chapstick.
ibuprofen everywhere. And then I have like my occasional stash of like upstairs, downstairs Xanax because you just don't know where you're going to have a panic attack. It could be upstairs or downstairs.
And I
have-
don't know why I have so many boxes of Kleenexes everywhere. It's like,
We're getting old, dude. We're look at us.
Oh
We're
no.
like the
I am
Kleenexes are
still
everywhere.
when did
I
you
am
become my
still
grandmother?
I know.
very much in the
We should make
20s
covers.
where I do not have Kleenexes ever in my house. We use toilet paper when we have to blow your nose. So I am very
Oh,
much
well.
still in my 20s for that.
Oh, good
I-
for you.
I'm not.
I gotta
I'm
have
not
the stuff with
evolved.
lotion.
Oh goodness.
So bad.
This is supposed to be a quilting thing, but hey,
We're
quilters
on
get sore.
We
They get
thought
sore.
if we had Gwendolyn back that maybe we would stay on topic, but she's at least ironing. My machine is on.
That's progress. I'm ironing my blocks, my little ornament blocks.
They're
Yeah,
so cute.
So
I took like a mental health, half a year break.
we all need that sometimes.
I do that. Don't tell my fellow horn players, but I do that every year. And then I go back to my paid horn gig. And the first like two practices are very like, I'm just not feeling well tonight. because I just haven't played in 6 months.
Yeah. It's all
Not good. Not. Don't tell. It's okay. They'll never know.
It's all good.
So bad. You did take a long break.
Brittany,
And you're
Brittany
back.
says Tiger Balm hydrogel patches for us
Oh,
sore
I like
quilters.
stinky stuff.
Yeah.
I like icy hot and what's the other one that's like icy hot? I love
BioFreeze.
this. Yes,
I love
BioFreeze.
BioFreeze.
It's great.
doTERRA has a deep blue that doesn't smell as bad as icy hot, but does work. But you
No, I
have to
like
know
the
a
smell.
doTERRA rep.
I
But
want to smell like a menthol cigarette without the
I can
smoke.
I can count on one hand the number of cigarettes I've had in my life, so that one doesn't apply to me or appeal to me.
Oh, no. It's not that at all. It's just what it smells like.
Yeah.
Burt's Bees balm everywhere, Colleen says. And Brittany is working on her half-inch Hexies. I got
Yeah,
her
what's
started
everyone
on
else working on?
EPP. And
What's everyone else
now
working on?
she's
Half
working on
inch,
the
that's small.
tiniest.
Yeah, that's
Half-inch.
teeny tiny.
She's like, I don't think that fussy cutting's for me. And I said,
You don't have
well,
to.
first of all, you got to take the lesson. You got to get the lesson on the fussy cutting. But yeah, if you're working in half-inch, I wouldn't want to fussy cut it.
No.
You know how much
definitely
the fussy cut? You have to find tiny prints. They're
This
kind of
one's
hard
kinda
to
fun.
find.
I like it.
Oh, it looks like a
I'm
snow globe,
sh-
that one.
I'm sure I fussy cut that situation, speaking of fussy cutting. But
That's going to be the cutest. That's
I
so you
know
too.
it is very me. But literally, I cannot use this until Willow dies because this white fabric here, I don't know
Mhm.
what it is about that dog. She just is like has this dirty, like jowl drooly stuff. Anything white that she comes in contact with is forever disgusting afterwards.
It just
So
can't fix it.
I
I
just have
know.
to
We love
wait
our
for
dogs
her to
so
go to the
much.
Rainbow Bridge and then I can use my quilt and it'll be fine. But
I understand. I've
I
just
love her
kind of,
dearly.
yeah.
It'll be fine. I can wait.
I have
Hell,
rugs
it might not
stashed
be
away.
done. It might not be done until she dies anyway. So let's be honest
That's
about this.
the Christmas tradition.
Yep.
She
You have rugs
started,
stashed away.
oh
You
yeah, I
said?
have rugs stashed away for when my dogs pass away, like the little dogs. So one of them
Yeah.
has passed, and now, Ben is still a very spry little guy. So, but oh, you give him an opportunity to go to the bathroom on a rug. That's the good stuff for him.
Oh, I know. We're going through that with our oldest. He's 15 going on 16.
Yeah, Ben is 15 going on 16 too.
And we're having the conversation, when, because it's just like you don't want to, but
Oh yeah. We knew with Sasha it happened pretty rapidly that she just wasn't doing well, but I don't think you heard the story. Just before she passed away, John made her a brisket. So he has picked up smoking meats as his
Wait,
midlife crisis.
he made the brisket
for the dog.
just for the dog. That
For the
means he
dog.
loves her so much.
Oh, that was
That's
his dog.
adorable.
He made an actual like prime beef brisket for the dog. And then all the other dogs ate a diaper that day and got violently sick
I remember
everywhere.
that.
And so Sasha's last night of eating, like she ate brisket in front of the other dogs that were just like,
Oh my
which is
goodness.
so her, to be like, oh, it's
Look
okay.
at what I get. That's
If
funny.
you get noises, Gwendolyn, we don't care. They're cute.
yes, the kids, my daughter and my grandsons are staying with us until, they take off till we take off for New Mexico. I'm helping them move to New Mexico. That's where they're PCSing. So I'm so sad about that. But I'm going to be traveling for like 6 weeks. I'm going to be on the road. It's crazy.
Oh wow.
I don't even
To
know.
help them move or
Yeah, well, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna stop at my mom's on the way out. So I'm gonna get to visit my nephew, and then I'll stay out there a little bit with her to help her get settled with all Theron's therapies and everything, and do that. And then on the way back, I'm gonna be stopping at my mom's again, and then grabbing her, and then mom and I are gonna do a retreat up in Pennsylvania in June. And
Ooh,
so then
nice.
I'll be driving my mom back to the Midwest. So it's going to be go, go, go for me. I haven't been on the road like that, I think, ever for that long.
Yeah, it's quite a ways. The
Yeah.
longest I've been
It's like
gone
you're
is
on
like,
tour.
And
honestly, the longest I was gone was with you, Chantel, when we went on our cruise
I
a year
know
ago.
that was.
This time last year, we were like in
We
the
just got
Atlantic
on a boat.
Ocean. Yeah,
We were eating
that was fun.
sandwiches at
yeah,
midnight.
because you guys were
I
gone for
had
like
not
2
slept
weeks.
for over 24 hours, is what I did. But
I was looking at our pictures. It's like, oh, we still haven't posted.
And we won't remember
Whatever.
the
it's
terrible
all good.
return trip.
It could have been worse. It was not horrible. I did not enjoy the Boston airport,
Yeah, that was.
but that was okay. It was fine. Let's see. We got some comments. We got Donna is working on sewing up 126 different size circles using invisible machine applique. That sounds like a labor of love, but it sounds like it'll be cool.
Oh dear,
Yeah,
Donna.
sounds like it'd be
Colleen
lovely.
is cutting blocks for 2 I Spy quilts tonight for a toddler, and it's a Missouri Star fruit jar pattern. So that sounds fun
I
too.
read ISPY. It was like, what's an ISPY quilt? I
I
spy.
know I Spy
Yeah.
because my aunt made one for her and for my mother to have at the house for when the
I
kids
think
were
it's a
little.
great idea. I wonder,
Yeah.
Colleen, where are you finding are you finding small prints? And where are you finding all these small prints? Because
And what are you doing with all of the extra? Because that's the challenge with the I Spy, right? We need all those fabrics that have cool things on them, but you only need like a 4-inch square. And then what do you do with it?
actually, that's a great idea for a swap. That's up Gwendolyn Avenue right there.
Yes.
Find me a
So
swap where we do tiny prints.
I was in a quilt shop last year where they actually did that in their quilt shop. They made like
I
little,
Spy kits?
yes, they made
That would be
little,
cool.
it was a whole table that they took the really cool fun novelty prints and like, all your vegetable prints and fruit and all the,
Yeah,
weird.
the little animals
Yes.
and
And they
sunshines
had
and
6 by 6 inch cut fabrics, and you could put together whichever, make your own bundle. So it was like $20 and you picked out 25
X amount.
squares.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really neat. I don't
I
remember
have
the
to
exact
show off.
price, but it was pretty reasonable. And I thought that was such a good idea. I thought, wow, more places should do things like this where you can kind of
Yeah.
curate your own, to your own tastes.
It's definitely a lot easier because they have access to more fabric and they can
Right,
cut like a 4-inch strip and get like 8,
right.
out of it. But I have to show off because I have my partridge in a pear tree.
Oh,
Look at
that
how
was so
cute.
beautiful.
So fun. The next one's fun too. So I'll show the next
I'm
one. There's
very
Nutcracker.
jealous. I am going to show off. So I've told you all about my Frock Tales
Yes.
adventure where I'm
You should
doing this.
share our conversation earlier because it's also entertaining.
Oh, where do I start? So I haven't sewn a garment for myself. That's the key there in 20 years. So, outside of making doll clothes and essentially doll clothes for my children when they were really little, I haven't made any clothes. And so my conversation with Stephanie basically went like this. Let me actually pull it up because it was quite funny.
First, it was like, where do I even find things now that Joanne's is gone? And I was like, mood.com is your friend
Mm-hmm.
for all things sewing and Notion related.
Is your Joanne's actually closed, Chantel?
I don't know.
I think they're all supposed to close by the end of this month.
Yeah, I
They
just
are
went in.
supposed to.
I hadn't been in mine at all, and I just went in the other day, and there was actually surprisingly a lot of patterns.
I have patterns.
I got a text today that it was 50 to 70% off everything in the store.
Oh wow!
But
which almost
That's
makes
bad.
patterns
That-
worth it now. That's
So
so cute.
I know it's got clear.
Look at
on them.
the Christmas
Everything's
lights, just
fussy
cut
cut.
perfectly.
Those are fussy cut too.
What pattern are you doing, Stephanie?
It's called Ornament Collection. It's one that I made as a mug rug, but we only made it digitally as a kit. So this is what it looks like.
Oh, cute.
It's our only mug rug pattern that is paid because it has multiple sizes for a quilt in it. So I'm doing, I think the lap, I really don't know how many ornaments I have, we're gonna maybe modify, and it'll whatever happens, happens. It's
I just
I
had
love to fussy cut things like that because you know, you're featuring the best parts, what your
Yeah.
eye sees is the best parts of your fabric. I love that.
I just had a moment where I was like, oh, you could use the other mug rugs, like boo. And then I thought about what that would be across the quilt. It would literally say like boob, 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 boob.
That would
And
be
so my mind
hilarious.
had a whole conversation and then thought through that. And then
You know
so
what? They
do
call
not
that
make a quilt out of the boo mug rugs. Because
they
you will
call
have a
that
quilt. This is boob,
stream,
boob, boob, boob.
stream of consciousness writing. James Joyce was very famous for it. That was what my English dissertation was on for my senior year. So yeah, my senior thesis.
I got a lot of stream of consciousness going on. Oh.
You would be an excellent James Joyce stream of consciousness writer. It would be highly entertaining.
Boob, boob,
It
boob, boob.
literally is like, it's like, ooh, this is exactly how it would be. It would be how your mind works. Oh, you can do it with that. Oh no, that would be boob. Boob, 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 boob. Okay, don't do that. Like that is
Now
literally
I'll tell my
how the
friends.
entire novel is written. Except it's like the guy's like on drugs while he's having the stream of consciousness craziness.
Great.
So there's that.
That's excellent. Oh, so what I was telling Stephanie earlier today, I got don't make one out of the poo.
Yeah, we're not going to
That's
do
a
that.
terrible idea. But other mug rugs can be made into quilts. Just
Absolutely.
not that one.
Back to Chantel's frock tails.
So gosh, where do I even start? I was basically asking questions like, do I need to wash it? Do I need to
About
wash
the muslin.
fabric?
The muslin
What?
is the entertaining part when you're asking about the muslin.
So I said, let's see. Do I wash fabric before making a muslin? And you said not the muslin. I said, okay. And then you said, unless you're using pretty fabric you might want to wear later. And I just reply like immediately, damn it, Stephanie, you know me too well. And she says, I would hope so. And I was like, I don't want to wash that shit. She's like, well, you don't want it to shrink. And I was like, I just know that I'm a quilter and I don't want to have to wash this stuff. So it goes on that I'm like, well, what about making this bag? What about doing all this stuff? And I'm making shoes now, apparently. And she's like, it sounds like you have your sojo back. And I was like, well, I don't want to be naked because you have to wear something you make to this. I don't want to be naked. And then I said, you got to make a frock for frock tails. And my garment skills cannot possibly be as wonderful as my quilting and bag skills. So in order to not embarrass myself, I need a bag and shoes to wow them. So I am procrastinating my dress by making shoes and handbags. I'm still going to be naked. So
I'm going to have to come down and help you with your dress is what's going to happen.
I have a pattern. I know how to do a pattern.
You're fine.
You got to cut the piece. There's so many.
Here, hold that up.
Pattern.
Hold that up.
It's not bad.
Okay. That is flowy enough to where you really just have to get your bust measurement right and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Which size are you making your skirt?
Well, actually, I kind of like the short skirt. I kind of like this version of it. The more frills, the better, but I like these sleeves.
This was a try.
Well, you can mix and match whatever you want.
Yes. And the problem is that I already see a pattern being somebody who can like sew. And I'm like, oh, well, what if I did this to the bottom and I altered this and all this stuff? And I actually sent a funny text I've been on texting Stephanie 2.0 like throughout the day. And at one point, I'm like, follow the pattern and you will be fine. I have no idea what I am doing. And then also we could totally tweak that and that and that and use a panel here, which is pretty accurate.
Is frock tails?
So
when is this happening?
June 21st.
My children will be with my in-laws the entire first week of June, and I will be in Peoria for a drop-off on that first Saturday. So I can make sure you're not naked.
Yay! John has that weekend off too. I already
Perfect.
know that.
So that means he can run around after the children. We'll make sure you're not naked.
I know I can make this dress.
Yes.
I know I could make anything I wanted to if I was patient and read the words. You have
I
to
can help you
the
read the words. It'll be okay. But
Why do they
honestly,
have
to be
so many
totally
words?
honest, I don't read the words most of the time when I'm doing those patterns. I look at the pictures, I'm like, cool, I got it.
Yeah.
But I purposely, so there's other dresses. I only have a small stack. A huge
Oh,
stack.
2.0's on. She's getting on soon.
Yay!
Brittany says you could always go the toga route if it's
I know,
between that
right?
and being naked. And
You're
Colleen
right.
says she's been collecting fabric for about a year and she purchased fabrics from everywhere. So she has 42 different jars for this I Spy quilt. So that sounds
So
like a
this
labor.
is
It sounds like you have a lot. It sounds like you need to take all your extras and sell I Spy kits somewhere on the
Yes.
interwebs.
I would buy one.
We have one buyer. Chantel
At least
is
one buyer.
volunteered. Yeah.
So this is the pattern I really want to make, though. Isn't that like so
That is
me?
very you. Yes.
Oh,
That
that's
short little
cute.
skirt.
It's like perfect, and it ties in the back, and it cinches, and it would be so good for like patterns and all of that. But I don't trust myself to make this one yet.
So
Because it's going to be more fitted. So
when
I'm
it
making
comes
a dress,
to
and then if
garments,
I have time, I will make the dress.
if you are a B cup, you
Mhm.
don't have to alter anything ever in a pattern generally.
Well, yay! God bless me with something, y'all.
If it's anything
Wasn't
else,
boobs.
then you got to
Boobs.
deal
Don't
with
make the boob quilt. Don't make the boob.
adjustments.
all
Chantel, have you
goes
thought
in
about
circles.
doing that out of patchwork?
I thought about it, but
I think that pattern would look really cute.
I
Done
mean,
in
I
pat-
also have this pattern, which I'm kind of fond of. Ooh,
Well, yeah.
this is really cute too.
That is very
But
cute.
again, fitted bodice and 5 buttons on the back. I
hate
don't
doing
really want to
buttons.
figure out my button maker.
Oh, it's easy, but I hate doing it.
Buttons are easy.
There's
I
a
know
button,
they're easy. I just don't
there's
know
a
it on
buttonhole
this machine.
attachment, and it just
I'm sure
you
this
literally have to
machine
put the button
probably
in.
does it for me. In
It
all
does.
honesty,
I'm sure.
yeah. But this dress, I know I can do. But here's the thing. I want to make a handbag and I want to make shoes. And so I bought a shoe kit. I don't know if you guys have heard of these.
I've seen them. They look really cool.
Candy sells these shoe kits that you can make your own tennis shoes. And they sell them so that you can make them with leather. I was telling Gwendolyn about this earlier today. You make them with leather, but some people have altered it so that you can make it with quilted fabric.
Yeah.
So what I really want is like a short dress with some frills to show off my legs. And then I want to wear the tennis shoes. So I brought down that stuff to show you guys what you get. So it's like a sneaker kit. And there are different patterns on the website that you can use. But you basically buy a pair of soles that fit your feet. And it comes with an insole. And when you have your panels all done, you literally stitch it.
Are you hand stitching it?
Yeah, you hand stitch it to the sole. But once you use your panels or whatever that you've machine quilted or finished, right? And I have the little grommet thing for the eyelets and all that stuff. And yeah, you make a pair of shoes. So the ultimate procrastination type project for me, I am nervous about making a dress. So I'm going to make shoes.
This is so Chantel.
Okay, so what color, what style, what are you planning?
I have a whole bunch of fabric folds, so I'll grab it. Because I refuse to buy fabric right now. I own some fabric.
You do own some fabric. That's accurate.
Oh, I got a pile going.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Very
you have some
Chantel
fabric.
pattern me, bundle.
2.0 has arrived, by the way.
Yay!
Yay!
I've been pestering her all day. So.
She is the one to ask about garments, that's for sure.
Yes. Well, I had to ask her about my serger. I had always used my serger to basically make my doll clothes, but I never like put a seam in and then serged edges. And I didn't know if I had to do that in real clothes or not. And so I was asking 2.0 if I actually have to like use my sewing machine to sew the thing and then do I serge it? And it turns out that you don't have to do that. A serger
You can do it all in one go.
does it
If
all.
you want it to be kind of a fancier seam on the inside, you can do a French seam. But
Yeah, that's what she
not a
said
big deal.
too. But
Ooh,
I honestly,
you are
I didn't.
knitting.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
I
I
am
think I'm gonna
knitting.
make my dress out of this.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So I have a lot of it. So I have,
Oh
I
yeah.
can,
Beautiful.
I can
You'll
mess
be
it
fine.
up at least once.
Pretty, pretty, pretty.
I think so. Let's see. You didn't get to see this is the dress, I think.
Oh,
I
pretty.
want this dress, but I don't trust myself with this dress.
Why
Yeah.
don't you trust yourself with it?
Are you worried about fitting that stomach panel?
Yeah.
You'll need some Spanx to do your measurements on if you do that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is fine. Like people have worn supportive garments all
This
throughout history.
is a decorative bag, and I like that because as a decorative bag, I don't have to worry about a zipper.
You're
Oh,
funny.
hi, little one.
Donna said that she made some high top quilted sneakers and they were lots of fun and turned out super cute.
Oh, there
We
you
have
go.
Babies! She's getting so big. I haven't seen her in
She is
forever.
getting big. She's 4 years old now.
Oh my goodness. Lily's going to kindergarten next year.
They grow up too fast.
Oh my gosh.
My husband was like, "Are you gonna cry when she goes to kindergarten?" And I'm like, "Probably not." And he's like, "What's wrong with you? All the other moms do." And I'm like, "I just no,
Not this time.
Yeah.
I'm not. That's not who I am. I'll be fine."
Give me a kiss and you need to go out to daddy.
Like,
Your
I
daddy-
think this one will be for the
Love you.
dress. Although I have the option
Is that
of this
Allison
one
Glass?
for the dress.
Alright, go on.
Ooh.
Oh, I love that fabric. I have some of that.
Oh, pretty.
I don't
So
know.
good together.
You could do a muslin from one.
Well, and I have a ton of like green Allison Glass that I don't love that I bought for $2. And I think that is what I'm going to make my muslin out of because I'm really afraid I'm going to mess it up. I have mushrooms.
I have that fabric.
That's fun.
I love this one. But this is like my color story in life right here. Like
It
these
is
ones.
very much.
And
Like I
it's
was surprised
cool.
when you came out with the blue, to be honest.
Oh, see, I don't mind blue when the blue has the same like reds and pinks in it.
That works.
So I was
yeah.
thinking for my tennis shoes or my bag.
Wait, are those whistles or
Yes.
snails? Okay, they're whistles.
I feel like
Okay,
because
you
of
want to hear
the
the fun?
scale,
Mhm.
because of the scale of that, I think that's your bag.
Probably. Yeah. And I have a million other fabrics. So, okay, when I make my tennis shoes, I'm going to make the little loop that goes like over the laces with my tennis shoes.
Nice.
It's very meta. I have some banana fabric. Bananas are my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't
they are.
actually like the flavor of bananas, but it also has the pink and the orange in it. And so I thought maybe I could do this as like part of the shoe, like the tongue or something like that.
That might also be a fun dress lining too.
Oh, that could be.
Or if you
Mix
ever
all the stuff together.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then I have a few other. I don't have enough of this for a dress, but this would have been really cute.
Oh, how cute.
I know. This
Is
is
that
like
a tomato? What is that?
it's like a little
I thought it was
maybe a
orange.
or
Yeah.
tomato. I don't know. It's adorable. So I
It
might
is
use
cute.
this inside of the Diva bag or whatever.
Is that Ruby Star fabric?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I might use this on the inside. I don't know.
Hmm.
But I got a good little color story going here. And then I always like a darker color if I can somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. All this stuff is going to get mashed up. That's not the problem for me. The mashup part of it. It's the cutting the pattern and starting part.
Make sure you pre-wash.
We had this conversation.
I know it sucks. It's like the worst
Chantel's
part of the
not happy
pattern
with.
for
That's
sewing.
why when I put all my fabric on
I'm disgusted,
boards,
guys.
I pre-washed everything before I put it on there That way, when I get a wild hair to do something, I don't have to do that step. It's just ready to go.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, but I don't have any garment clothing.
By the way, Steph,
I don't have anything that. I have a really good quilter stash.
You do.
the Joann's in Davenport has a ton of linen or linen
Ooh.
blend.
I do not need
only
any
have, like, 2
more
colors,
garment
though.
fabric because I have a
She has a garment
whole
shelf.
I have a whole 7-foot garment shelf, and I have not made garments in a really long time. I bought fabric to do matching Easter dresses for the girls last Easter, and it still hasn't been pre-washed. So this
This
shows
is what I'm
you
worried about.
where I'm at.
Frock
But-
Tails is in 6 weeks, and I have to pre-wash fabric. That's like a 7 to 10
Look,
business day type adventure.
I'm coming
Right?
to your house. We're gonna make this work the first Saturday, and we will make your dress. And if we have time, we'll organize your closet some, and then we're gonna name all my characters and places, and
Done.
drink a lot of high noons, and
I
it will
wanna-
be
I
a
wanna
very
come.
productive weekend. That could be
Ooh.
fun. Ooh, what do you got going on there?
Well, this was going to be Easter dresses for the girls.
See, this is our problem. We have very good intentions. It's like when you go to a buffet and you're like, I'm going to eat all this food. And then you start eating and you're like, that was a poor decision. I should not have gotten so much food.
Cute this is, though. And like,
It is
This-
adorable.
this actually has kind of a yellow undertone. You can't really see it very well, but it works as a white on white. And I found this lace remnant, and I was going to do a lace overlay over the white for the skirt.
I'm jealous that you know how to do these things. Because I
I can
have
show
big
you how.
ideas. Like I
That's
go
cute.
on Pinterest and I see these things with like ornate bows on the shoulder done in like tent stripes. And I'm like,
Here we
yes!
go. This was supposed to be last year's Easter dress.
Scallops.
It didn't happen for this year either.
I love
got
it.
the I got the zippers. I got the lining. I got the pattern.
Yep.
I got
I got
It's
a
not
whole
even
drawer
pre-washed.
of things.
I even
that
Not
are
even
wishes
pre-washed.
and dreams.
I even taped the pattern together, which actually that is the worst part of garment sewing is when you buy a pattern online and you have to tape the whole thing together.
Oh.
That's the worst part. I hate that.
You got to
You
go
know,
with a
I
large
like my
format
Acne
printer.
quilt, and then I just don't have to think about any of that stuff. Except they don't make Acne quilt dress. Like,
Yeah, no.
This is true.
But I did not trace the pattern. And that's where I got stuck.
oh,
I'm a big fan of tracing the pattern.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know
I
how
did,
to-
otherwise I'd have to print it and tape it all together twice. And that's like twice the
Annoying.
worst part.
I know.
I didn't know that I could just serge something together and that was good enough. So
It is good
we're
enough.
in a special place in this.
It is 100% good enough.
Hi,
Yes.
Lori. Oh,
Ooh, that's pretty,
cute.
pretty.
Joanne's clearance. I'm going to make a romper out of this.
That's
cute.
cute.
I know that
You're gonna
I
get
will
a
be
lot of
very
messages.
naughty if I go into Joanne's clearance. So I have avoided Joanne's clearance.
I'm gonna have a lot of problem if I get to the McCall's side of the patterns because I only got to the simplicity side of the patterns when they were still $1. And then they moved the prices back up when liquidation took over. And there's a couple patterns on that side that are like they're really,
For
really,
me,
really good looking.
it's the Vogue patterns that I have a problem with. Have I ever made a Vogue pattern? No. I have lots of intentions. I have fabric pulled and I'm ready to go for it. Never actually made one.
The
So,
Vogue patterns
this
always
is why
seem
I'm
to miss
avoiding
7 steps. I've noticed.
I know enough about the 7 steps, I think, at this point.
Yeah, no, you really have to know the
Yeah.
underground of like what you're supposed to do. I like the simplicity ones that are like sewing is where you put fabric together with thread. And you're like, okay, I knew that one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
You have a
Donna
right
says-
side and a wrong side.
Donna
There you
says
go, right?
Acne Quilt also has a ball cap die, so she's planning to make
Oh,
a cap to match her
Donna,
sleeves. So
I-
that could be fun. So
Wow.
there's another procrastination project for you.
I cut out
For
all
your-
the pieces for my hat. I'm not making a hat for this particular event, but it might just be me with a duct taped hat on my breast and a pair of shoes. I guess I'll make 2 hats.
Okay, if you're going to do that,
So
make 2 hats.
Make 2
I
hats.
have
It's a
no
really
sheds.
big brim.
can I tell the
I'm pretty
story
short.
of when you were wearing the jumpsuit and we were on the cruise.
Oh yeah, I was flashing everybody.
No, I've known Chantel for 20 years. 20 years. And we have been to college together, which means we've seen a lot of embarrassing stuff that the other person has done. We're in the cruise. We are grown ass women. We're 38 and 39 years old on this cruise. And I'm in the bathroom getting ready. And Chantel goes, Stephanie. And I walk out and she's got her jumpsuit on. And a
I
bra
have those
does
little
not
like
go with this.
cup things.
It doesn't work. So yeah, she's got the little like cover situation so that she doesn't have a wardrobe malfunction. That's all she's wearing.
I go, woo!
Like, Chantel, what the hell?
She just like she nearly pissed herself.
This
So
is
worth
not
it.
what I was expecting on like day 2 of the cruise.
It was
We
worth
hadn't
it.
even been drinking. She just is like,
Hell yeah.
"Woo."
I don't have to drink to have fun. That was
No,
worth
we
it.
don't. It
I
was a fun
I
time.
was here for that. That was. I mean, I didn't actually flash you.
I mean,
had-
yes, the
And
important
then,
parts were
but
covered.
then that meal, my outfit kept gaping, and she's like trying to tell me that I'm basically flashing everybody else now.
Yeah.
Did not catch on at all.
Oh,
Cutlets
Shan-
for everyone.
Chantel bought a bunch of clothes for like $2 at this like high-end thrift shop when they
It
were
was a
like
great deal.
on some sale day, and she looked fancy, fancy, fancy. But
Except for that one outfit.
yeah,
Why it looked fancy. Somebody probably really liked that outfit.
it's all good. It's all good. Somebody enjoyed themselves.
Somebody enjoyed themselves.
It seems like
She's
you have
like,
a
you know,
lot of
you were
embarrassing
flashing everybody the
stories,
whole meal,
Chantel.
and I'm like, oh.
Oh, I think mine was the worst when the guys came to the room to try
You
to
were wearing this like ratty little
like
nightgown thing.
totally see through like 5-year-old nightgown.
She's worried about my chicken cutlet like cover up, and
Yeah,
she's
and,
wearing this
like,
ratty little nightgown, which
I mean, like
It's
it's one thing
pretty.
for Chantel to see it. It's a total another thing for like 2 gay men to see through the situation. And I'm just like, I'm not coming out, guys. I'm in my pajamas.
I was fully clothed
I'm not,
because
I'm not
fully clothed
leaving.
when I pass out. I
Yes.
barely changed my clothes.
But I have new nightgowns now. And I bought a nightgown that wasn't a muumuu. Everyone should be proud of me.
Oh, I'm
It's
kind of
shocking.
disappointed.
I know. It's an actual, like, legit cutesy little nightgown, but it's comfy and covers plenty because
Just in
I'm not
case.
20. I'm not 20 anymore. Like, oh goodness. But from the mouths of children though, you know how like when you have like a spaghetti strap thing and it like has been worn like a couple nights to bed and the straps get stretched out?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like laying down. I'm like, I'm in bed. Like I'm not like walking around the house like this. My 5-year-old comes over and goes, Mom, your boobs are hanging out. And I'm like, yep, go to bed. This is what happens when you have 2 babies and you breastfeed for 3 years of
hang
your life.
whichever way you lay.
I know. They
Yep,
do their
it's
own
true.
thing. You don't get control over where they decide to show up anymore.
Nope.
I will be right back, ladies.
Oh
It's
no,
all
that's
good.
totally fine.
I'm gonna actually sew things today.
I think I'm gonna try to prep something, but I don't know
That-
what. I think
Well,
I'm
you
gonna
know
try
you
to
don't
prep
wanna
something
cut.
little. I got
That
the
works.
Bernina back on this side and in here, so I might pull out some fat quarters and quilt a little bit. And then I have a pattern for these little itty bitty like zipper bags. They're really small. They're called Bitsy bags.
Is that the one you got at QuiltCon?
No, I did get a few things at QuiltCon.
I mean, just a few. You showed us your entire haul.
I mean, it was a really good haul. They're still sitting on the floor right here.
I understand that.
Ooh, you know what? Maybe I'll make this purse.
You know what? You
Oh,
make
that's
me feel so much better. The fact that you are like, it's still sitting on the floor right now because I literally have 3 boxes of high noon at my feet right now from the last 3 weeks we shot here when I finished the boxes.
Nice. On the other side, I have this on the floor still.
You have the cave woven ribbon. I'm not shitting you. We have 1, 2, and then tonight's 3rd box of high noon.
I least threw away. Why didn't I took my bottle of wine. So the other week, Gwendolyn, I ran out of high noons, which we had
It was a sad day for Chantel.
They're like the perfect half a beer drink, right? So I had to open a bottle of wine, but I drank like most of that bottle of wine in a single sitting. And I
Was feeling good.
forgot how potent wine is, I think.
Yeah, I totally forgot that these are like candy drinks compared to having a bottle of wine.
My husband, when we were engaged, we had a wine and cheese party, my roommate and I, because our birthdays are 2 days apart. And we had like the whole night crew of the paper out, which was a lot of young people. And so everybody brought at least a bottle of wine. We were all drinking and eating cheese. And Adam drank as much beer or as wine as he normally would beer, not realizing that wine is twice his strength.
Ooh, yeah.
So he goes home to his place. He sees his Rocky poster. He's doing this and he punches through the wall. I had to fix it because I'm the man in the relationship and I'm the one who had to plaster that. I was not there for that part of it. We lived separately at that time, and he literally punched a hole in the wall, and I was the one who had to fix it with the plaster because I was the one who knew how to do it because apparently I'm the man.
Because we took them from the womb.
We did. We
took their little umbilical cords, and we said, "Come along, be my
I will
husband.
balance your checkbook. I will make sure you have money for beer. It will be fine." Oh goodness.
I don't see the problem in that. Well,
I missed everything in the story up until Adam punched a hole in the wall, and I feel like
Adam, it was my, I think 23rd or 24th birthday, and there was a wine and cheese situation with me and my roommate who had a birthday 2 days before me, and he drank as much wine as he would beer, not realizing it was twice as strong, and was rather drunk and very hungover the next day.
I have the perfect hangover story. It's a love story too. Have I told you about the time that Chinese New Year fell on the day before Valentine's Day?
No, but I think you need to tell the story of how you met your husband when you're done with this.
No.
You sure? It's pretty funny.
No, but I will share this one that's very incriminating of my husband and how we went to a Chinese New Year party with some friends that were like, they were Chinese, they were from China. And so we go to this party. He's in medical school, so we're living in Chicago. I was the designated driver, and so I'm just eating dumplings, but John is eating dumplings and getting trashed off of Chinese liquor, which is very, very strong. And so he, being a former football player, eats a lot of dumplings and drinks a lot of alcohol. And
they made a repeat appearance, didn't they?
And he passed out in the hallway. And I'm like, sweet.
He's in medical school and he passed out in the hallway because he was so drunk.
Yeah, and I got him home at least. And then he passed out in the hallway. So I got to sleep by myself. I was like really excited about this. And then like halfway through the night, he apparently wakes up in the middle of the hallway, gets up and comes to bed. I get up the next morning. There's a smell. I'm looking for the smell. Can't find the smell. I found the smell, guys. In the aquarium. He threw up all that liquor and dumplings
so
into the fish aquarium.
Did you just have to flush all the fish? Like what happened to these poor
No.
fish?
These weren't just any fish. These were a rare breeding pair of South American cichlids.
Oh Lord Almighty.
Okay. They're very aggressive fish, worse than piranhas. And it's rare that you get a breeding pair because usually they just want to murder each other. And so John somehow, and their names were Mr. and Mrs. Bubbles. Okay. Our very aggressive killer fish were named Mr. and Mrs. Bubbles because that's what John named them.
Of course he did.
Yes. And so we have these very rare fish and he throws up into the aquarium.
Oh gosh.
And he gets up. It's Valentine's Day now, guys. It's Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
John,
you chose very well.
Almost the entire day cleaning the aquarium. We had to transfer the fish into the bathroom. We lived in a high rise. We were on the 37th floor. It wasn't like you could just pump this outside, right?
Oh my gosh.
Like it was this whole mess. But
I imagine.
it ended up being a love story. So the breeding pair hadn't bred in quite a while. They bred after their gourmet dumpling and alcohol
Oh,
gift. They finally
Well, maybe
actually bred.
discovered
And then we
something
had
new.
400 fish.
they went through a traumatic event, Chantal, and it just
They
drew them
bonded
together.
over it. But then Mr. Bubbles became violent, as we all do when we have 400 children. And unfortunately, Mrs. Bubbles didn't make it, which I didn't realize was really a problem until I found out about 5 years ago that it turns out Mrs. Bubbles was one of 2 of that type of fish in the country.
How in the hell did you end up with these fish in the first place? This is, I feel like, a story we need to know.
So one time, John made me go to the American Cichlid Association meeting where we got a shady aquarium in the back of the mall at Woodfield.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So he had connections.
This sounds like a drug deal.
It felt like a drug deal. You go to the American Cichlid Association meeting, and it is a whole bunch of very skeezy people like staring at aquariums, much like I'm staring at you right now, like really
Oh my
close,
goodness.
like looking at them, like analyzing them, you're like, wow, that's really cool. And then they go to the next fish,
That's
and
hilarious.
it's very. The fact that I wanted to go to a My Little Pony convention and John wouldn't go, I really held that against him after having to go to the American Cichlid Association meeting.
I think that would be fair for him to go with you. He has gone with you to quilt concepts, though, so there is that.
He didn't walk into the building once. He did not want to be associated with that. I had to walk into the American Cichlid Association meeting and look at the fish.
And take a breeding pair home.
We didn't take him home then. I don't really know where he managed. It was like a drug deal, I'm sure. Yeah, he got like these underground breeding. They should have been.
I know we're just talking about it on YouTube.
They should have been in like a national aquarium, but no. And then after that, Mr. Bubbles had like a thing where we had this long building that we lived in, and so it was very shotgun. We moved into a different high rise. And I would have to do my my design work. There was like a little niche in the hallway where the aquarium was. And then, I don't know, like 15 feet down the hallway, there was another niche where I had my desk and everything. And Mr. Bubbles would sit there and pick up rocks and just shoot them at the side of the aquarium the entire time. He would move all the rocks from like the left side of the aquarium to the right side of the aquarium. Just like shooting them. He was so angry. He probably wanted more dumplings. I don't know. He killed his wife. I mean, it's true. Yeah, it was fish from the black market, Brittany. You're right.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
I have no idea. Yeah. So, and then he sold Mr. Bubbles.
Here's what I need to know. Does John still like cichlids?
Cichlids?
I don't think I could say it correctly, even if I wasn't 2 drinks in. So we're just gonna say it that.
Cichlids. Oh yeah.
Yes.
No, he wants an aquarium pretty badly. It's just a matter of getting our daughter potty trained enough that we don't have to have a dresser in the living room. We can have an aquarium.
You could
It
go
is
on
close
vacation.
to the bar, though. I don't know if that's a safe choice.
You could go on vacation and not bring diapers like I did.
Oh yeah, no, we're on the potty training. We have the potty underwear. We have the potty. We have the conversation going on, but we have our very agreeable child just saying, no. She agrees to everything. I mean, you could tell her anything, and she's just like the happiest, most agreeable child ever.
I literally put her in underpants and was like, we're going. If you pee your pants, you're going to be wearing it. So make sure, let's go to the bathroom.
Maybe we'll just do that while you're here,
And I was
too.
I was oh, well, we did it once,
Be
I
like,
guess.
Aunt Steph.
I was like, let's go potty. I don't got to go. Well, we're going to go potty. And we just did that and we went about our activities for a week and I put her in a diaper for bed and nap and that was it. And that's because I was convinced that Angela was going to go to kindergarten wearing a diaper because it took her so long and I was convinced not that I would not mess it up with two children. I was only going to mess it up with one. So
I let
that's where,
other people
that's
do
where
it
that
for
came
the
from.
first two, so I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
They were both in school and things,
So
so
I'm going to help you make a dress, clean out your closet. You're going to provide me with high noons and we're
Mhm.
going to come up with names for all my places
and we're
and
gonna look
people
up the American Cichlid Association and see where
and make fun of John.
make sure John gets one as soon as this kid is potty trained because we're doing that
There you
too.
go. Yes.
I like how we're gonna get one of these things done. It's
Maybe.
probably two. We're gonna drink high noons in the closet while we make up names. Nothing is gonna get done.
No, we're going to make your dress. And
Oh
I'm
no, no, no!
still in,
I'm gonna figure out how to make a dress.
and
I
I'm
can
still
make
in
a
your
dress.
medieval architecture books
Oh yeah, I gotta get those out too.
because I need those.
Are you sure we don't have 3 weeks for this meeting? No,
I
we
mean,
got
I
like
have a
2
whole week
nights.
with no children. I'm going to have 4 weeks without children this summer. I know everybody's mouths are
Look at
dropping.
us
So
all like,
everyone's mouths just went down. So
Oh.
but not her
so
vacation week.
my in-laws are coming to take the kids for 1 week time spans at the beginning of the summer and after. And then my parents take one child at a time. So I technically will have like half a child. Well, I'll have one child, but half of my current children for the other 2 weeks. So I get 2 completely child-free weeks and 2 weeks where I only have one of the children to deal with.
Oh.
This sounds like I'm a horrible mother. I love my children.
No,
I
this
very
sounds
much
like you're
enjoy when
doing
they go to
motherhood
grandma
right.
and grandpa for a little while because then they come home and I miss them and I'm not
You're
like I literally texted Chantel earlier this week. I was like, I had to roll down all the windows in my car because my child smelled so bad because she needs deodorant and she's not wearing it when she should be. And the other one was crying because I would not let her go to the park for a few minutes because we did not have time between school and dance to do it. And I'm just like,
I was having
and
a very
she's trying
dramatic
to
week.
call me. She's trying to call me. And I'm like, you don't want to
She's
be
like,
any
I
part of
can't.
this. This is
I
not,
can't.
well, it was for your
She's
sake.
like, I couldn't hear you if you did.
If you called me and you had to also experience what I was experiencing, it would not have made your day better.
It wouldn't have been very
No,
therapeutic.
it would not have been. You would have heard someone crying in the back saying, you have to make it up to me.
It
You
would
have to
have
make
been
it
just
up to
like
me.
home.
I know, right?
Oh, you guys didn't you didn't see my shirt. Steph 2.0.
Oh, yes.
Look, I am my shirt.
Nice.
Yeah.
The American Girl doll.
Very fun.
I love it.
All right, I'm going to make something. What are we making?
You know, you have many options here.
And with
You
what?
need to pick one.
All right, I'm making a thing with Kate. Here we go. Decision made.
There you go.
What are you
Cool.
working on 2.0?
That same
Getting
wraparound
something.
shrug that I started forever ago. What the heck happened here?
I hate fixing knitting mistakes. They're no fun.
I know, that's one thing that I like about crochet is that it's very oops friendly.
You know, you can fix knitting mistakes, but I think you can sometimes fix knitting mistakes easier than crochet mistakes. Like if you drop a stitch or something, but I don't know.
Oh, what did I do? What the heck?
You knitted on live camera. That's what you did. And then you messed it up.
This is a mistake that I made last night.
We can't.
Yeah,
There's a lot of rules.
there are.
We've learned them the hard way.
No, this is.
My mother-in-law came out last weekend and she had my tourist tote that I made her in the car. And I was like,
Aw.
oh, I made her something she likes.
Nice.
Very excited.
I think
This
I
is
need to
it
puff
so
up
far.
That's cool. Are those like little eyelets in there every
Yeah.
once in a while? Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool. I like it. I love a good like stockinette though. Like you get a nice little like yoke situation and then it's
Yeah.
just stockinette for the whole body and you don't have to think. That's
Well, I have
lovely.
that for the border and then also for what's going to be the sleeves. This is
Yeah.
the middle part.
We should hang out at Atlas Collective and knit someday.
Yes, I would love that.
I need to maybe when my children are not here because that's like the only Saturday I could go over is when they're not around.
Yeah, I'm
Adam
at
works every
Atlas
Saturday.
Collective at the second and third Wednesday morning of the month.
Are you?
Yeah. It's kind of a parenthood. Yeah, parenthood support group. Well, not really support group, just social hour, maybe.
I work from there often. Like I was there 2, 3 times this week.
Yeah. No, I've
Because
talked
then
to
it
the
gets me
owner
out of the
a few times,
house.
and she knows who you are.
Oh yeah. We hang.
Yeah.
We hang. But
Do I want to make low tops, mid tops, or high top tennis shoes?
I
For
feel
my
like you gotta
procrastination.
do like low or high. The
I
mid, I feel
agree.
like
The
is gonna be
medium
weird.
was not an option.
I was
Yeah.
thinking mid.
That's because you're Gen X. I feel like we're
I don't
gonna
know.
blame it on
I
that.
was like, no.
I
I
like
think I want the low ones
I think
because
you
they
would look
don't
good
have a
in the
lot
low.
of leg, and I'm going to be wearing a dress.
yeah.
I love my low top sneakers to wear with dresses. The ones I had on the cruise.
Yeah. Okay, done. That was.
Decision made.
We're just going with that. There's an option. I have a different pattern piece if I want to do a high top. It's not like all in the same pattern piece.
Hmm.
So if I change my mind, I bought 2 sets of soles.
Of course
You
you
got
did.
free shipping if you hit a certain amount, and I just can't not
You're a
hit
good
the certain amount.
Midwestern girl. You gotta get the free
It was
shipping.
going to be $20 for shipping.
So why not buy the
I
extra
didn't
pair of
hit.
soles?
Yeah.
They're
I love
basically free.
shipping.
Basically free at that point.
Except that they're not. It was very
Girl
expensive. John's like, so you're making shoes now? Like,
Brittany says high tops because then you have more work to display,
that's fair.
which is a thought.
I feel like any other
Me
opinions?
personally-
High tops, low tops.
Hey, baby.
Me personally, my calves are so like, and always have been super muscular. So it does not work for me to do high anything.
I feel like I always. Oh, look at the little one.
Little boy. He's so big.
Oh, you see? Oh, you see? You see the ladies? You gonna smile?
A
Hi.
baby.
You gonna smile? He's not talking yet.
That's okay.
He's doing a little bit of Nana.
Yeah.
They both said Nana first. So
Ah. The
I
pride
bet your
moment
daughter
right there.
loves that.
I know.
Mine said dad at first, and I was mad. I was like, no. I birthed you. You are to say
Well,
mama
mine said
first.
Dad at first.
Yeah, Penny said dada first. But her first real word was cracker. Like her first word that wasn't mama or daddy was cracker, which I thought was like the cutest thing ever.
That is pretty
That's
funny.
funny. My husband's brother, his first word was car.
Yeah.
Car. They would come and visit me. I was a cake decorator at Walmart and Sam's, and they would come visit me, and he'd always go, car, because he wanted to get in the car and come get a free cookie.
Aw,
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
that's fun.
Hey, Brittany, I'm going to be probably making these shoes while you're at my house. She's coming over on the 14th.
You like all those faces, don't you?
JD's favorite show when he was a baby was Jeopardy because there'd be like faces and then blue screens and then faces and then blue screens.
That just did it for him, apparently.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, it was the trivia. I could watch Jeopardy.
We had, this was before, Disney Plus. So we had a DVR
Back in the old days.
And we had more than 100 episodes of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse on that DVR because it's so annoying
Me
to watch.
too.
And it was just like we need to just run through them like you do now with Netflix. But it's like, but I could put one of those things on and I could get dinner made. Like she would just sit there and watch and be quiet and not get into anything. That was the way to do it.
Friends. It's like, ah.
And then you get so annoyed with Toodles and you're just like, stop it.
Hot dog, hot diggity dog.
Oh yeah, we would do the hot dog dance together often.
Uh-huh.
Every 20 minutes.
Once the Theron is addicted to that show. Once it gets on, I think he's gonna start asking for it now.
Uh-oh. Oops.
We'll stop talking.
Sorry.
Next subject.
Apparently,
Who wants to talk
Brittany-
about fish again?
But let's
Brittany is
talk
bringing
about
1 million hexies with her and diamonds.
You can work on my my block of the month. Maybe I can finish month 3 now that we're on month 9.
Look, we've accepted that this is not going to be a 1-year project for you. It's okay.
it's okay.
You have small children and a life, and that's fine.
This is a passion project I lack passion for.
You were excited at the beginning. You just have moments now. where
Okay,
you
I
have
didn't
it.
realize it was going to be a king size quilt till after I paid for that.
It's all good.
And I'm
Just
still
finish it
trying to
before
do
you
well
die
behaved
and it'll
with
be
how much
fine.
that costs.
I kind of wonder if doing a block of the month would get me excited about quilting again. Or just sewing again.
Yeah.
I've been kind of burnt out for a while.
The thing that would get me excited about it is if I actually took time to clean down here. So maybe when my children are gone for a week.
I know. It's so
I
messy
can-
down here. I can't think.
I cannot even walk. I keep telling the kids I need a path to my sewing space. And I do not even have that. I'm stepping over Barbie campers and doll cars and all manner of things. And so I just don't enjoy spending time down here when I see a giant to-do list. It's not my thing.
I think part of it too is that I do alterations at work and
Yeah, you don't want to come home and do more sewing. That feels like
Yeah.
work.
I like the sewing aspect of my job. There are a lot of other aspects about my job that I don't like, but like the sewing aspect I enjoy. But yeah, but when I get home, I just kind of want to veg and read my book.
Yeah.
We're in a book phase too.
Yes.
We
Books.
are so much. Today's Cal and Mai. Happy Cal and Mai to
Is
everybody.
it Calamai?
Yeah.
Calamai.
I texted Chantel. I was like, Happy Cal and Mai. And then I told Adam, because he doesn't know what Cal and Mai is. I was like, today's a fairy sex holiday. And he's like, looks at me with this raised eyebrows. Like, is that going to mean anything good for me? And I'm like, no, not today. Sorry. Oh, sorry for the children we have around. It's
You said it
10:30. They should be
quickly.
in
If
bed.
people didn't hear it. They didn't hear it. And that's fine.
I will say this. When I was listening to Lights Out,
I have not
My
read that,
husband-
but
You read?
I've not read that, but I'm aware that that is one of the one that's more spicy.
it is the spiciest book that I have read.
Oh, wait until you hear about this one that
Oh,
Stephanie's
she's
reading
heard.
now.
She's heard about it.
Oh, I've heard about it. It's probably not as spicy as that one because there actually is some plot to Lights Out.
There's
it's
like
a hor-
20%
Well, there was 2
plot.
chapters of plot.
There's 20% plot in like
Oh,
this
man.
3-book series, plus
That
a
is-
prequel. 20% plot.
Yeah, definitely spicier than Lights Out, but Lights Out is hilarious, and Charlie benefited from that.
They all do. Oh goodness.
my.
Chantel and I had a very funny exchange that it cannot be repeated on the internet, but
Oh, boo.
I'll text you later.
Okay.
It was funny.
Special friend text for that one.
This makes me think of at Quilt Addicts, and we would have
We would get sent to HR.
yeah.
I was HR and my husband worked at the damn place. So basically, I probably
fun
could have gotten
days.
sued. One day, Bobby had just had enough of us. He was just like, oh my God, please just stop.
That's funny.
Brittany,
And
go stay in the
Adam
house. Don't
completely-
listen to the drums.
Adam
Don't
just
listen to the
ignored.
drums.
I'm laughing so hard that my glasses are fogging and I have to take them off.
Oh man.
Oh. Oh goodness.
All right. I have a pattern. Well, I have the outsides of shoes.
There you go. If this turns out cool, I might have to make a pair.
I think
me
they're
too.
going to
This
turn
sounds
out cool.
fun.
I'm going to try to get these. So the way that I'm doing the shoes is that the binding that I'm going to do near the laces, I'm going to match the dress to the binding.
Okay.
So there will be a little bit of crossover. And then in the bag for like the accent fabric, I'm going to do whatever I do the dress in.
Okay.
So it's all going to have a little tie together, but I'm still going to play with colors and stuff because I just can't do two colors. That's just so.
Yeah, that's not you.
No, I can't do that. I like physically hurt thinking that I would just wear two colors.
All right, so back to calamine.
Back to calamine.
Yeah,
I think everybody here and a lot of people have read A Court of Thorns and Roses. Was anybody else really annoyed with Tamlin? The fact that he was just like, this is cool for me to go do this thing. And that Farah was like, it's cool for him to go do this thing. I would be pissed. I would be like, that's it. I am not falling in love with you, Fairy High Lord. Like,
I mean, I thought it was like tradition, you can't.
And she
I mean,
really
I get it, but he was
very
totally
lost.
he was totally into her.
But
And then
she
he
was
goes,
also, like,
in the end.
just starting to warm up to him at that point. She wasn't.
oh, but she wanted him. She wanted him, though.
She did, but she wasn't
And
like.
he wanted her.
Yeah, it's. I
So
don't know.
beyond
Tamlin
the
is.
first book now.
Ugh.
Just not.
Yeah.
Or tampon.
It's your team tampon. Oh, goodness. Lord almighty.
My
Like
sister-in-law.
Tamlin at the time. I was not feeding into the negative
That was like red flag number 1 for me with him. Was
Mhm.
like,
she was reading all the red flags. I'm like, those flags aren't red. Those are like dark pink.
that's a red
Just, like,
flag.
going with it.
Yellow.
Fine. And then it was like, oh, those were problems.
Oh, goodness.
We can't all. Yeah. No, I had no excuse. It just was what it was.
It's fine.
It's fine, she says, and she's like,
Brittany says she thinks she had a lot thrown at her at once and never questioned him.
Yeah.
Even the tithe. No, she questioned the tithe. She thought that was not cool and acted accordingly to fix it. But
she didn't know much better,
I mean, she also was 19, so I suppose we need to give her that because how much did we put up with at 19 that we would not put
Tamlin
up
would
with
have been
today?
perfect if
I
I
think
was
that's
19.
my biggest hang up with that whole series is that Feyre is 19, 20, 21 in the whole thing. And her sister.
But she
all,
acts with such
950
maturity.
years old.
Yeah.
It's just like, I was an idiot at that age. Like, and she.
I'm still an idiot. And
Yeah, I am too.
At least I
Although
know
my
it then.
husband today,
I didn't know it then.
I have been
Right.
trying to get my husband to print off pay stubs at work for 4 days. He's like, text me. I'm like, I've texted you many times or reminded you multiple days. You are a 45-year-old man. You're an adult. You can figure this out. He's like, that is debatable. And I'm like, oh my God, just print off the stupid pay stubs and bring them home. I'm not texting you at 5 o'clock. You can remember this yourself.
Like, set a timer for yourself if you need it.
I know, right?
Sometimes
Is
we
that a
need
teacup
extra
quilt you're
help.
making?
Oh, it's an ornament. It's ornament collection.
Oh, you had it on the side.
So,
That looks like
yeah,
it.
this is, and just putting sashing on the side.
I gotcha. Okay.
I think I'm going to get through like half my stack and then cut it apart. So that way I'm not like committed to sewing the whole thing and cutting them all. That's going to be a pain.
One of my friends that also is a big fan of ACOTAR sent me a video where it's like, if you think you're having a bad day, just remember that some girl read the first ACOTAR book and got a Tamlin tattoo.
Tattoo with a fiddle.
Oh, yes, that would be bad. You never name a character or a child after a character until the series is finished.
Yes.
Ever.
Or that character dies on a good note.
Yeah, that's true.
Or
Like
that
if their
character
story arc is
Miley
done, you can
Cyrus.
name your kid.
People named their
Brittany
kids
says
Miley.
men done mature ever. LOL. 500 is barely an age gap. Okay,
Barely.
so there's a theory
Okay,
online
fair.
that they're all a minimum of 500 years old because that's how long it takes for them to actually mature and be able to run a household without like hand holding
Just like real
from a
men.
woman. Yes. Because they generally make good decisions and they know how to run a household and they don't need somebody reminding them what to do every single damn
They
day.
don't have their little umbilical cord still holding on.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how
That's
long it takes, and we're screwed. Unless you're Zayden Ryerson, and then you're fine by the age of 23. And then we're good.
There's a few Brandon
You
Sanderson
keep telling
characters.
yourself that it's okay, Steph. It's fine.
I know. I also
23 is
sent
fine.
Chantel a text message this week of something I said to my husband. By the way, Adam, I think, is jealous of Zayden Ryerson now, who is a fictional man. Because I talk about him so much. But I was like, I am 40 years old and I'm never going to ride a dragon or a wing leader, and that makes me sad. And then we had a whole conversation about how I'm obsessed with this fictional character. And I was just like, one, I'm technically old enough to be his mother, so this is clearly not like a real thing.
It's like
And
a save a
two,
horse, ride a wing leader.
I know I have a shirt that says that. I'm like, if we're going to talk about real life, like who had one
I
up on the
have a
other,
shirt that
it's
says
not me. So we can't get mad about me and my book bag friends. Uh,
My husband just doesn't seem to care.
that's because he doesn't. I need to get his phone number and I need to explain a few things to him about what a
Chantel, are
High
we
Lord
talking you
is.
into reading these books yet?
Oh yeah, she's in the rabbit hole.
Oh yeah,
Which one? What are you reading?
the third ACOTAR right now.
You're at Applemore already?
Yeah, I'm through like most of the third one, and honestly,
It's
it's
not her favorite.
close to my genre. I'm finding it a little slow.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I just liked slow books because like A Court of Wings and Ruin was my favorite by far. Like I loved the entire series, but I loved Aquawar the most. And most of the books that I love reading are ones that other people describe as slow and they have a hard time getting into. I'm just like, but that's the
It's
best
not
part.
that. It's just that not every chapter has a highlight. Some chapters are just building for the next chapter. There's some like ADHD qualities that I think I possess where I need something novel kind of
This is why
consistently.
I think you will enjoy the Empyrean series with Fourth Wing because the author is ADHD. And so she makes sure that there's good stuff constantly.
Yeah, and it's lacking some humor, which is a little sad for me. And you have to remember my genre of
It's
You like
books
300-page romance books with not a lot of fluff.
without a lot of fluff because the Regency romance. We know the setting. We know where we are in London. We understand the basics. We don't have to go through all that, so you really get through things pretty quickly. And it's not a book that continues on to another book that continues on to another book unless they're like adjacent characters.
Yeah.
And so those books read really fast to me, and there's not a lot of reading into it.
Okay.
Not like actual.
Like they're pretty
There's
straightforward.
a difference between a book and a piece of literature, right?
Yeah.
And some of these like romantasy books really teeter on the like, I'm actually a piece of literature. Like you can read into the Easter eggs and you can understand things beyond what it says. There's some character flaws in them with the narrators that like the first book, I just trusted her fully and her opinion. And then clearly I would have been stuck with Tamlin forever. Right? Like, because I didn't think of her as flawed because she's the narrator. But in the books that I tend to read, hey, Mommy, doesn't matter. That and then, a whole bunch of nonfiction books that I teeter on, and that and philosophy, so
Let me mute this.
I am at almost 200 words for my second book right now. Not that I finished book 1 or book
She
3.
means writing, not
Writing.
reading. She's
Writing.
writing a book.
I'm writing 3 books, and I'm going back and I wrote pieces to all 3 this week because I'm losing my damn mind, and this is just how it works. But
Oh,
I
you're
was
doing
like
it right.
plotting out. I've got like 170 pages on book 3, and then I was like thinking about how I was going to end everything, and I'm like, I really need to go back and do some more on book 1 so that these characters can start at one place and really understand where they start, and then they can have a really good ending. And then I got totally distracted by the love story in book 2 and have been just gung ho on that. So this is like what I'm doing in all my spare time is doing this stuff. So
She's being creative. We all need our
I
creative
am.
pursuits. I am
We
making a
do.
pair of shoes as my creative pursuit right now.
It is
I've
all good.
Also,
This is
We
what
get
I
our
do.
buckets filled in different ways.
This is what I do in my spare time.
Ooh.
Yes.
I'm
We all
fallen
need to
head
escape.
over heels into clean talk, though. I'm not a big TikTok person.
Are you doing anything or are you just aspiring to be
No,
a
I'm
clean person?
actually cleaning some. I've learned how to clean things.
Do you want to come practice at my house?
I might. I bought a new
You can
mop
come
and
practice
I've been
at my house.
scrubbing things and
I have to
well, I
clean
don't
this
feel
week.
like I knew how to do it right. Like you can clean something, but you're putting a lot of elbow grease in it if you don't know the proper technique on how to do it. And there was just like we lived in a really small apartment like my whole life. It wasn't hard to clean. It wasn't like I have 11 sinks in my house. We counted the other day.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no.
11 sinks?
11 sinks.
Just kill me now if that
I-
were my reality.
I think
There
that's
would
more
be
than
sinks
I have in my
that
house.
would be off limits. It'd be like, we are able to use these 3. Nobody
We have
touch any
5
others.
on our top floor.
Old.
We have 4 on the main floor, and we have 2 in the basement.
Yeah. There would be off limit sinks if that were my reality.
I have never lived in, well, that's not true. The last house I lived in was just as big, but we didn't live there for very long. I never grew up in a home like what I live in. I don't know how to keep up with something like this. I can't keep up with like putting my underwear in the drawer when it's in a basket and I just have to put it in a drawer. Like, so the idea of like cleaning every sink in my house, a little overwhelming. But I'm learning a lot and it stopped giving me videos about cleaning driveways all the time, which is great.
Well, there you go.
I really like those videos, but I don't need to spend 3 hours a day watching videos of people cleaning driveways because that's not what I'm going to do with my time.
I love a good lawn makeover.
Oh,
like
yeah.
where somebody goes to a totally neglected lawn and there ends up being like a driveway underneath it that nobody knew about because it was so overgrown.
They scrape off the grass and there's a sidewalk.
Yeah. Or like the
Those are
sidewalk
fantastic.
was this big, but it's actually this big.
Mhm.
That's highly satisfying.
There's a pair of stairs behind that bush. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's the problem. It was probably because of you. It was like, oh, you're friends with her? You're gonna love all these lawn videos.
No. So my husband came to me today and he's like, so when you're cleaning, I think there's something you need to deal with. And I was like, what is that? He goes, you have a book on your hutch in the living room or in the kitchen that says how to make a plant happy. And on that same hutch are 3 dead plants. And I was like, that is totally a detail that I would include in a character description and setting if I ever wrote a contemporary novel. And he's like, yeah, to show how like crazy and out of sorts they are. And
You
I'm
probably
like,
write it about
it's accurate.
me.
I'm like, I'm not saying that's wrong. It's a wrong assumption. It's correct. I totally bought those herb plants in December and then never watered them, and they are still sitting there. It's fine.
I watered planty today. See, that's the
Did
nice
you?
thing about having a named plant that you've had for 5 years is that, you take care of it now without thinking about it. It's like a habit.
What's
Gotta
that?
water. Well, he also looks really sad if you don't water him.
Oh, this is
Oh, he's
your
one of the dramatic plants.
piece one.
He's a very dramatic plant, and that's what I need. I need him to let me know, like, dear plant, before you died, you didn't let me know you were dying. I can't give
What
you
kind of plant is
therapy
it?
if you don't tell me.
Stephanie 2.0 worked at a garden center at one point, so she knows a
Good.
thing or two
Good.
about
Well, you're
plants.
just like my contact for all of the things, apparently.
Yes. I
My
know a
my
thing or two
my
about
2.0,
plants.
2.0
I
give me
just
some
ignore them.
advice for life.
Do I have advice for life?
Yeah, no, I feel like you know a little bit of everything. So what's your
Don't listen to
motto,
me.
actually?
That's
Does anybody here have a motto? I was telling Gwendolyn about our family motto.
What's that?
Everything cometh to he who waiteth, so long as he who waiteth worketh like hell while he waiteth.
That's a good motto.
yeah.
It really is. But I mean, the good things will happen to you, but you got to work for it. You can't just wait for it to happen. But it came from this crappy little thing from the Salvation Army down the road from Augie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have this like little wall plate thing that's,
You
you
still
know.
have it from like 20 years ago in college?
Yeah, no, that's like our family motto. That is
That's
very
awesome.
important to our family. It's like,
I
but
got an email today, speaking of
mhm.
20 years ago, from Shakira saying that her Oral Fixation album was 20 years old. And I was like, I listened to that in college and that makes me feel old. I don't want to hear that anniversary. Thank you very much.
I got some bad news today. I wouldn't call it bad news, but I applied to be an Aurifil artisan and I didn't get it.
Oh, that's too
Oh.
bad.
I was kind of bummed. I'm like, hello, look at that thread collection up there, y'all. I'm your people.
Clearly, you're good to go.
Hi. Oh well.
I'm sure everybody and their brother
Next
applies
year.
to that.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that applied to that.
Have you guys watched, you were talking about the plants and garden and stuff. Have you watched Grosse Point Garden Society?
I do
The
not
new
know what that one is.
series on Peacock?
We
I'm
don't
pretty
have
sure I
Peacock
just saw
anymore.
Asher go.
Yeah, it's about a garden club. It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a mystery.
Oh, Steph
that
likes
happens, but
mysteries.
I figure out who done it like halfway through though.
She does.
it's done really well. You should give it
Yeah.
a try.
I'll do that.
I
We
think
would
it
have
was
to
a
re-up our
book.
Peacock.
I think it was a book.
If it was a good series, it was probably a book first.
Probably.
It's a brand new series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on Peacock.
Hmm.
I can't really tell much about it because if I tell too much, it'll give it away. But it's just about a group of friends that are very upscale and in a garden society club, and
Are these the people that just kind of hang out in gardens, or are these the kind of people
no,
that
they create gardens for trophies.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like a big deal. Lots of money goes
Like
into
there's people that ride horses and there's people that, have racing horses that they don't touch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these are the people that create gardens for fancy reasons. Yes.
right.
Brittany says their motto is more of a mindset, and the response to "you're a weirdo" is "the best people are," which is actually a quote from Alice in Wonderland, although it's slightly modified. But I'm not sure if you knew
Essentially.
that one. But yes, I think the Mad Hatter says it.
That would make sense.
I actually remember seeing a quote from that once and thinking, I need that in my house because that fully describes me and my situation. But
I'm going to go off the air for a minute. I'm trying to fix my camera thing.
oh, it's all good.
But I'm still here.
It is all good.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to take a restroom break because I feel like that is not a bad idea. Without my headphones, so I don't
Yeah, we don't want to hear that. We do not want to hear that.
I'll leave those here. So if you're going to talk about Chantel, now is the time.
I had so much coffee today. I've been like in the bathroom all day too.
I had a lot of coffee too.
I thought you were leaving your headphones, Chantel. We don't want to hear the toilet flush.
I'm leaving.
I I actually got a little bit of a nap today, which is why I wasn't too exhausted to hop on.
Well, there you go.
Usually Fridays, I'm like 5 o'clock hits on Friday, and I'm just like my brain is done, and I am in zombie mode.
So my husband and I have been watching the prequel to Dexter because we watched that show like forever ago when it came out.
Dexter was good.
And we watch it in bed at like we started at like 9:30. So
Mhm.
not too late when the kids are going to bed. And we have watched, I should say I have watched each episode 3 times because that's how many times it takes to go through it for him to be able to watch the entire thing because he keeps falling asleep. He's like going through last night. He's like, I haven't seen this. I'm like, I've seen it twice.
Adam, you old fart.
Well, it's because he literally walks like 2 marathons a week with his
Yeah, that's
job.
true. And
So he's
isn't he up
tired.
at like the butt crack of dawn too?
He's not anymore. When he did preload, he was, but
Okay.
now he's like at a normal hour. I'm
Okay.
actually up before he is most days. But
Yeah, whenever I see a UPS truck, I'm like, is that Adam?
oh, my kids are like UPS, and I'm like, if unless you're in Milan, you probably will not see him.
Okay.
Brittany says she's obsessed with tea, so that tracks. Yeah, we got to find that quote now, and I'll have to send it to you because there's totally artwork about it. You should have it in your house. But
I don't know. I guess there is one quote that like a friend of mine told me years and years and years ago, and it just stuck with me. And this like legitimately was something from him, and it stuck with me. And it's what did he say? Don't think about the whole. Don't think about the whole journey. Think about what did he say? Just take it one day at a time, and do your best and take it one day at a time, or something, instead of getting
yeah,
like super overwhelmed about a big task.
yeah, that
Basically,
makes
baby
sense.
steps.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It was like no, don't look at the whole thing. Like don't look at this whole huge mountain that you have to climb. Like just take it one step at a time and do the best you can.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Cold. Is that
Mm-hmm.
cold?
Oh, oh, I just cracked like 3 vertebrae when I did that. My goodness. Hi, Remy. Remy looks Remy looks like an emo child right now because he needs a haircut. So his hair just like does this.
Nice.
What are you doing? You want to go outside? I better go let him out or he's gonna pee on something down here. I'll also be right back. But
Okay.
I will keep my headphones on so I'll be able to hear you all.
I feel like a lot of mottos in my life are just biblical verses, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a lot of those too.
Or I remember I had seen a poster when I was in college. My husband actually bought it for me to put in my classroom. Of all of the rules the that you learn in kindergarten.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of those things that the golden rule, things like that.
Yeah.
Those, the simple motto to go by, to live by.
Yeah. I think I kind of along those lines. I heard something about like all everything you need to know you learned in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I think the title of the poster is.
Yeah.
You down, dude? You ready to get down?
Gosh, such a cute little dude.
He is, and he's so good.
I remember when he was born. Little bitty. It seems like not that long ago.
I know.
I have a question that might seem silly to people who have sewn a million garments, but do I cut the pattern can I sit down and cut the pattern, or is it best to cut the pattern while it's laying flat?
I would
I'll
cut
lay
it
it
flat.
Mm-hmm. Now you can move it around. Like I like to put a bunch of pins on my pattern
No,
pieces.
I meant like just when I'm cutting out the actual pattern, not when
like,
I'm cutting the fabric with the pattern.
Oh, so like the paper.
Yes, when I'm cutting the pattern paper.
Oh, yeah, you can do that sitting down,
Anywhere?
just however you're comfortable. Just really make sure, like, keep all of the pieces and make sure that you like have a system for
Oh shoot. You said
I mean, your
system.
system can be like
Oof.
putting it in a tote box or something.
Just
And
don't
have it.
lose your pieces. That's the
Yes.
biggest thing.
Put them back.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
That's a good.
Otherwise, you are SOL and you're gonna be trying to find another one.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's gonna happen.
It's okay. In my mind, I mean, I said the text that I sent you earlier today, Stuff 2.0, which was basically like, oh my God, I don't know how to do this. I have no idea what I'm doing. And then also me is like, oh, I can change this and this and this and like there's
Plus,
all these cool things I
get
could do.
that.
first of all, the best happy accidents happen when you don't know that something is too hard for you to be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty much how I learned everything about sewing, is not
Right.
knowing that it was supposed to be hard, doing it anyway, sometimes screwing up pretty bad, but a lot of
I know
times
how
it's
to
like, oh, I
do
was able to do
it.
it. Yeah.
It's funny because I essentially know how to make a garment because I've made so many like
Doll
doll
clothes.
clothes
Yeah, it
and
won't be
things
bad.
like that. But I don't know how to fit myself.
Well, that's where it's helpful when you have somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe when I come out, we can make this
Like
a
I'm
thing.
not sure how to make sure that because I mean I am thicker in the middle and I'm slim in the hips
Well, you
and
won't have
I
to worry
am
about that
normal up top.
with your
That's why I
dress.
picked things that were going to be appropriate
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
I didn't pick anything with like a drop waist or something where I'm going to have to think about a lot of darts or
Yeah.
anything like that. Like I know enough to know that I don't want to mess with that at
Yeah.
all.
For sure.
But like I'm not worried about doing the gathers or even the zippers. You know, I've learned how to do it in other things. Like why I'm excited to make a pair of shoes and a bag, which most people would consider like the hard part, but I'm scared of making the dress.
It's because the dress you wear, and sometimes it looks like a potato sack if you totally mess it up. And
You're not wrong. I don't want
yeah,
to look like a potato sack, a big red and pink potato sack.
yeah.
I do have a really cute pink belt though.
See, you can accessorize anything and make it look cute. I have a
That's
dress from
why I'm ready
Target.
for the accessories.
I have a dress from Target that I got as an XL. It's a little too big now, but I can still make that look really cute if I put my a little belt with it and some matching shoes and a jean jacket, and I all of a sudden look like I'm cute and not Little House on the Prairie. And it's a very different situation. Matching bag to go with it. It's all
Right.
about the accessories. All about the accessories.
That's why I'm going to make the accessories. I
Brittany earlier said you needed a banana belt.
do
I'm not
need a
sure if you
banana
saw that
belt.
one. That could be
I did
entertaining.
not see that one. She also said I need to make you snacks, which we all know.
You can purchase snacks and I'll be just as happy. Actually, honestly, I've been trying not to snack because I need to get back
Well, this is
on,
the house for you.
I need to be back on my healthy diet because it's not going very well. So I've been kind of bad since Easter. There was candy in the house.
Oh,
I got
I
off
found an
track.
Easter egg today.
Your dogs didn't eat it first.
No, no, no. It was up high enough that nobody found it.
That's funny.
I found it today, and I had a Kit Kat in it. I was
Well,
very
there you go.
excited.
You got a little snack.
I did. Well, if I'm allowed to cut this while sitting down, I'm going to do that. I'm going to
There
grab
you
that
go.
real quick.
That is something you can cut and not screw up. Well, live on the internet.
I've learned that I can cut patterns, and I've learned that I can sew things I've prepped, but I can't do any of the in-betweens. So if I'm not prepared
Ahead of time.
beforehand
I
with
understand that.
something that needs to be sewn together or pressed,
It's not going to happen.
I can't do anything. But
I'm
I've
gonna have to-
also realized I need like an hour and a half before each show to make sure that I'm able to prep something that I can actually sew.
I'm gonna have to come up with something else to make once I get done with
How about a dress
putting
for
the
a friend?
sashes on this. A dress for a friend. A dress for a friend is fine. I just don't want to make a dress for
Make a
me.
doll dress for me.
I don't want to know what my measurements are right now. This is really the
That's fair
key
too.
for
I
me
was a
not wanting
little
to make a dress for
surprised.
me.
My
I
abdomen
don't wanna know.
measurement was bigger than my bust measurement. It was like, that's not fair.
I think my derriere measurement is always going to be the biggest.
I was like basically the same. I'm like a column, but not in a column shape.
And
You
there
would
is some
be
there's some
amazed.
valleys in there somewhere.
It's more like, I have some hills and valleys, yeah.
It's all good.
But it's more like
That is the human body. Like, we don't have, very few women have that hourglass shape that is touted as normal or as ideal. Like, very, very
or
few.
very womanly. Yes, it's
Yeah.
like, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the high noons aren't helping the abdomen measurement.
I went today. It has become commonplace for my husband gets home. I go to Hy-Vee and I get myself my 4-pack of high noons for tonight. And he's like, you didn't get the big box. I'm like, this is all I need for a week. And he's like, I wish I only needed 4 beverages for a week. And I was like, well, you're in control of this.
They don't mess with my blood sugar. I just took my blood sugar and they just don't
Yeah.
cause any problems. So I just keep drinking them.
Recently, Zoe.
There you go.
I forgot
But
how much
yeah.
I hate how big these things are.
Oh yeah, that's the annoying part.
It's
Once
bigger
you
than
cut it
me.
down, it's not so bad, but
Yeah. So I'm guessing you're not going to trace it first, Chantel?
we talked about tracing, but I don't think she's going there.
We are like hopes and dreams.
Okay.
Kind of. Yeah. I think I'm going to turn off my video and I'm going to cut this into a few pieces out in the hall.
It's all good.
And then I'll come back on. But I'm still here.
Okay.
It's all good. We're listening.
Yes.
We
You're
have
listening
friends
to
today.
all,
It's
I,
not
well,
just
and that is
it's
the
not
beauty
just
of it.
me looking at my ugly mug while we do this.
Oh, so beautiful. You're so beautiful.
Oh, I got like admired this week. I was like on cloud 9. I walked into the coffee shop and I had this meeting and I looked like a neon Easter egg in what I was wearing. I had this like neon yellow jacket and a bright fuchsia top underneath, and then like these pastel pink, like wide palazzo pants, and like my lips matched the top. And like I never do this. I show up looking like this situation most of the time
That
because
is
there's
my
no point.
goals for this
There's
whole
no
thing, by the
point.
way. I want to look
And
like a neon Easter egg like you.
that's basically what I look like. Neon Easter egg with matching lip. And my hair was done. Like this very rarely all happens in one go. And they're just like, damn. And I'm just like, I went home and I was like, honey, you're obligated to love me and want me for the rest of our lives. But I want you to know that it feels good to have somebody else look at me and be like, you put it together today.
Like, dang.
And she's like, I'm totally objectifying you. I'm sorry. I'm like, it's totally fine. It makes me feel good. You go ahead and keep doing that.
Objectify.
But
I consent to this objectification.
I
Yes.
absolutely do. Go ahead, keep it going. It's good for my self-esteem.
All right, I have now transferred myself to the floor. Look at there's leg lamp number 2 behind me.
I forgot about
goodness.
your leg lamps.
She likes antique lamps.
Oh, I love old lamps.
There's somebody who does lamp repair in Peoria, and I keep forgetting to bring 2 lamps that I need to get repaired when I come visit you.
What do you need repaired on them?
One of them is the cool,
I rewire lamps.
it's not a rewire situation. It's a piano light and it's missing like some tiny little screw and I don't know how to put it back together. So it's probably
Ooh.
a like need the right tool kind of a thing, which
Okay,
I would
that's
assume the
fair.
lamp repair tech needs has. And then the other one, Angela knocked it over and some pieces came apart and it just needs something else to get it back together.
My kids
So,
once shattered one of my antique lamps,
Uh-oh.
and then they had a whole funeral for it because they knew how upset I was.
it's like when I got on Pier 1 when it was going out of business and I had like watched it forever and loved it. And then it's just like messed up now. And it just needs like a new, is it called a harp? The thing that comes up?
Yeah,
I don't
you
know.
can
It
get
just
those
needs a few
anywhere.
things. Well, it needs that. And then there's some other stuff that's busted on it. And I just
Oh, that's
would,
annoying.
I just want someone, I just want to drop them both off and pick them both up later.
I know
I
how
just
you
don't want to deal
feel.
with it.
That's like
But
90% of the tasks that I need to do. I just want to drop them off and pick them up later and have them all done.
Lily, why are you awake?
Oh, shoot.
What's wrong, honey? Your tablet said, well, that means it's time to go to sleep, Lily. Would you like my phone? Okay. Let me locate my phone.
Ouch.
You need to go to bed. We're going to listen to videos. Okay? You can listen to Audible.
When I get
There
to
you
the
go.
little notches, I cut out,
There you
right?
go. Go to sleep.
Yes, cut away
I
from
mean,
the seam allowance.
I totally ignore that stuff.
You probably could, but I do not.
We're not doing that for me, though. On the paper pattern, not on the clothing, though. No, on the clothing, you put the things.
You can do it in both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brittany has a quilting question. What are your thoughts on conditioning thread and wax? My thought is you buy the good thread and you don't have to worry about it. Which is generally Aurifil. You can get pre-waxed thread though. Like there's hand quilting thread by Gutermann that's pre-waxed and good to
Yeah, I was
go.
gonna say, it sounds like if you're talking about hand sewing or hand quilting, because you wouldn't really need to do that with machine, would you?
On a machine, absolutely not. You wouldn't want it. It would mess things up.
Yeah.
But for hand quilting, there is wax. I find if you have Aurifil thread, you don't need
fine
it.
is good.
Yeah. If
I
you
have some
have
that I like.
Aurifil thread, you're good.
It depends too. Some people just like it a little silkier, and
Yeah.
I have some, and I generally don't use it, but it does smell really good.
On like if anything in quilting, there are so many right answers, and you just kind of have to try it. And if you like it, go for it. And if you don't, then don't do it again. And
Yeah,
it's all good.
whatever your kink is, just go for it.
Are we gonna sing Chapel Row now all together?
It is calamai here,
It
you
is
know. So
calamai.
Please
This
do
is
not
true.
kink shame.
Oh goodness. It always comes back to the spice and the romanticy.
and we can't help ourselves.
Oh goodness.
I just always crack up when spicy books like Akatar and Fourth Wing or something, when guys just start throwing fits about it. It's like, you realize how much you're telling on yourself right now that this upsets you this much?
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
clearly insecure much. Like,
Yeah. It's like,
You
heaven
know.
forbid we enjoy this.
enjoy
Oh, goodness.
anything, right?
Yeah, right.
And like, I don't know. I mean, certainly there are books that are like the vampire series that is feel like it's a train wreck that I can't stop looking at. That's 20% plot and 80% getting down. Like that is not literature. That
No,
is
that's
just a good
cliterature.
ride. Like I cannot even listen to this in public or when I need to be doing anything because it's just like I cannot be in
Dirty.
this
It's
state.
dirty.
I
You're
cannot be in
dirty,
this
dirty
state
girl.
for that long. Like if you're trying to get something into every single chapter, like I can't listen to this for, hours. It's not going to happen.
Although I
It's
Uh,
have
cat
been
food. It's a
enjoying the
dog
book
food book.
reports. They're kind
Yeah.
of funny.
They are hilarious. But anyway,
Anyway,
I
she
can't say any of them
says.
online. It's very naughty. But then you have
Don't read that book. That's what I can tell you.
books by Fourth Wing where there's like three scenes and in one of them they just make out, but it's hot. And like and there's like 400 plus pages of plot and
Mm-hmm.
it's very layered and a lot of foreshadowing and you can read that three times and still not catch everything. And it's like everyone gets hung up on the spice and so yeah, there's some spice and it's really good spice, but like there's so much more to
There's
that.
a lot more to it than that. That's
Yeah.
the icing on the cake, but there's a
Yeah.
lot of cake in there.
You can eat the cake without the icing, even. You could probably skip over
Yeah,
that
you
chapter if you
can.
really wanted.
This is true.
Although you worked up to that chapter, you deserve the icing.
I told my husband this week, I was like, if I publish these books, I do not want my parents to read them. He's like, you can just not tell them. And I was like, but what if like it actually becomes a hit, then they're gonna know. There's gonna be like no hiding it that like Stephanie wrote a scene that is very spicy. Like,
You mean like, see, parents, I have a very healthy marriage.
oh goodness.
There's I follow Elizabeth Wheatley on Facebook,
I follow
Instagram,
her
TikTok,
too.
all the
Yeah.
socials. She is hilarious. And I love it when she talks about how like she like her background and how she's like, yeah, I don't write for my family or the people I grew up with.
Oh, I certainly don't. However, my sister, very conservative Christian household, she's read every single book I've read and worse. And I'm like,
Those
this,
conservative Christian girls, like,
I know, right?
Well, I mean, the freaks are in the library.
this
I
is true.
literally, I literally wrote a scene like that. Because there's one guy who just can't get anybody to like be interested in him. And he's talking about how there's like two girls who are good fighters. And he's like, if you two aren't interested, then who is there for me? And she's like, it's gonna be the bookworm.
It's gonna be the bookworm.
It's gonna be
They're
the
the
one who
naughty
likes
ones.
books.
Mhm.
Ah. We got Pauline on from Scotland. Hello, you are at the end of the night where Stephanie is 3 drinks in, and we are talking about romanticy instead of sewing, but we kind of circle back and go all over the place. Jan wants to know how many squares I'm using in the quilt that I'm making. I don't actually know. I lost count a long time ago. And so we're going to find that out whenever I actually finish all my blocks, and I'm going to lay it out. And
It's like one of those raffles where you
it
have to
is what
guess
it
how
is.
many blocks there are, and whoever's closest, like, gets a simple prize.
I think I'm making the lap size version, but I do not know because I started this quilt like 2.5 years ago, and that information is not in my brain anymore. So I'm just making the blocks, and I have enough pieces to make the blocks because at the time that I cut it, I knew how many pieces there were, and we're just gonna go from there. So it's fine.
You are trusting past Stephanie.
I am. Past Stephanie made mostly good decisions, so hopefully
Better
she
than the
still is
future
making them.
Stephanie.
You
Her
know,
book.
future Stephanie's problems are not
Future
today's
Stephanie's
problems.
problems.
Exactly. But future Stephanie has to figure out how to tell her parents she wrote some spice.
You know, I
That
can
is
talk to
not current Stephanie's problem.
my cousin-in-law. I think she would be. She's Charlie's cousin's wife. She wrote some spicy books,
Yeah.
and
Ooh.
I have not read them yet. But I can ask her. It's like, so how did you tell your parents and specifically your
Yeah.
in-laws?
How do you
Chantel
break?
is going
How
to
do you come out
create.
of the closet with your spicy book writing?
Right.
So Jan has an actual quilting question. This is ornament collection. It's one of my patterns that we did a mug rug for, but there's also quilt sizes for it. It's the only mug rug pattern that is paid. So that's what I'm working on today. But yes, that'll be interesting to have that conversation. But Chantel has volunteered to create a version for my parents where the pages are blacked out, and have fun other messages on them that they're like going
Like, this
shopping
is where they're
or
kissing.
yeah, they're still kissing. Oh yes, still kissing. And
I think you
so
should
Chantel
recommend
has
it.
volunteered.
I think
Yes.
you should recommend those books to your parents and not tell them that you wrote them until
Oh,
after they're done.
Oh my God, that would be entertaining.
That's brilliant.
So I wrote in high school a trilogy that was horrible, but I still have them in my basement. And they were very like violent. Like it was basically the original version of this story before Stephanie like understood literary and read like 1,000 books. And I remember my dad going like, yeah, they were just really violent. And now what I'm writing now is probably like 1,000 times worse than whatever I wrote in high school. So this is totally not going to be his cup of tea, and that's fine. He does not need to read my books, and that's fine.
Yeah.
He can still love me, and he doesn't have to read it. But
Hopefully.
That reminds me of a short story that I wrote in high school that my mom really, really didn't like. but she didn't know how to tell me that she didn't like it. But to be fair, like it also had to do with like with self-harm.
Oh, well,
Oh,
yeah.
fair, yeah.
This is not what you want to
No
read
parent wants
about.
to like, yeah.
Happy birthday, Pauline. That's exciting. I'm glad you get to hang out with us for it. But yeah, I don't know. I think I told this story on here, but you guys haven't heard it, Stephanie. I was at my parents' and I was rereading A Court of Thorns and Roses. And I was at the scene where Farah catches Tamlin in her snare and he's hanging upside down in the tree. And I was smiling because
It was
it's
funny.
funny. And my dad knew I was reading a book that had some spice in it because when I call my parents, they answer the phone. It's a team now. So if I tell my mom about a book recommendation and warn her that it's going to be a little bit spicy stuff in it, he's listening to this conversation too. So he knows this. This is like the context for him watching me read this scene. And I'm in the room with my two children and my two parents as I'm reading this. And he looks at me as I'm smiling and he goes, "Is it one of those scenes?"
Oh God, so
Like,
awkward.
oh God, no, Dad. So then I had to explain what was actually happening. And like, this is not like you're fine. Don't worry. It's
There's
all
actually
good.
not a whole lot of spice in
That first one, no.
Court of Thorns and Roses.
I've
Mm-mm.
gotten very good though at hiding my face when I am listening to a scene
He's
because I
improved.
totally was listening to a scene like while we're all sitting there watching a movie and I'm just like straight face the whole time. I'm like, this is a hot one. That was when I was
That's
reading
funny.
Quicksilver. But
Right, I'm
anyway.
getting confused. There's pieces. Okay, I need to get the other paper out.
So sometimes when you have garment patterns, there are some pieces that you do not use depending on which variation you're using. So that can get a
Yeah,
little
that's what
confusing.
I'm dealing with right now. I'm trying to figure out because I want to not really edit it, but I do
You
want
want to
the
mix and
sleeves
match
of
it
the
to make your
one
work.
with the
Yeah,
shorter skirt. So I'm trying to figure out,
what pieces you need.
yeah.
That makes sense.
It's like I don't want to I don't want to make a dress, but I will make a
You
dress.
signed yourself up for this.
You know what? I want to go to the cocktail party, okay?
Totally
I
understand.
want to make a dress. I'm just not feeling very confident in my dress
You want to
making.
be finished making your dress.
Yes, definitely. Already done would be a great place to be right now. But that's why I'm cutting this now while I have the entertainment of everybody else because
It's all good.
You have the
it,
body doubling right now.
this part, exactly. So this part is truly the annoying part for me. The rest of it comes together pretty quickly, but
That is the thing about garment making is that you can get it together fairly quickly if you're dealing with a simple pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just doing,
it's not hard. I mean, the
yeah,
pattern's 2 pages long. Like
it's the fitting that can be challenging.
I'm nervous about the fitting and I'm nervous about cutting fabric that I might like and I don't want to launder it because our washing machine is having some issues right now because I use color catchers and they got stuck in the filter, but our filter doesn't come apart very easy. We have to take apart the entire front of the machine.
Oh my
So we're
goodness.
getting like a lot of extra liquid in our machine right now because it's not draining well. And so
You need
it's
an
just,
appliance repair tech. We have
yeah,
one that has come out to ours a couple times, but
I
I
know.
doubt they're going your
We
far, but
have a
it's got to be
warranty and
something.
everything like that, but it would be $100 and it's something that John and I can do. You know, it's just like anything else. Like when you know you can do it,
You have a hard time
right?
justifying spending money on it.
Yeah. Like I'm making a big deal about the fact that I have to make a dress. It's not that bad. I will be fine.
Just take it one step at a time.
And that's the thing. I want to just be done. I'll actually
I
enjoy the
feel like
sewing part. I
that's
know that.
life. Like there's so many things like I make a decision that I'm like, I want to do this thing and then I just want to be done with that thing. Like,
It's also a little nerve-wracking when you're doing something for the first time in a while. So, 20 years, for
yeah.
example.
Because you started with garments, right?
Yeah, mostly. I mean, when I took my sewing class and stuff like that in high school, I made clothing and I made pajama pants and I made
Didn't you work
little
in the costume
dresses.
shop at Augie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
Yes,
that was
you'll be
very
fine.
specialized stuff. I did all the hand sewing because
Okay.
you know, I wasn't a
That's
theater
still a
person.
good background for garment sewing, though.
Yeah,
I did
like I
not
mean, I
even,
understand how to do the gathers. I understand how to install zippers and stuff, but at the same time, it's just I haven't done it in a really long time. It's like
yeah, you get back
it's
onto it.
yeah, and the fact that I'm not doing it as just a little passion project, just like, oh, I gotta wear this in public. This is gonna be great.
It's
Although I've
fine.
never made shoes before either, and here I am thinking that that's gonna be the easy part. So,
It's because that's more of a puzzle, like a bag that you've
you
done a
know, I
million
do
times.
love a good problem. So
Yes.
I will figure
Channel
this out. But
channel your inner chili.
I want to make the really pretty dress with the big poofy sleeves and all the scallops and the bows on my shoulders and everything. But I know that I'm not ready for like different materials and stuff like that. So you got to start small.
Yeah.
It's like
Slippery
quilting. You got to
fabric
make the
is the
first
worst
quilt. You got to
to
like,
deal with.
you got to learn how to do it. You got to mess up a little bit, you know, and I got to not get in so deep that I screw myself over, you know.
I
So
think you were smart in the pattern that you picked.
well, I know it's going to fit well for me. And I know that I'm not sure how to do fitting so well. So having something that, you know, is like
You don't
this
have
is,
to do so much fitting too. Yeah.
yeah, I think it'll give me a good chance. As much as it's not necessarily what I want to wear. But the
It'll be
only
fun.
rule is that you have to make your own frock. It, essentially, you could make it out of tape if you wanted to, you know.
We'll have done that.
You can do anything you want. Like I'm not making it out of tape, but I will make a dress.
For me, what intimidates me is the curves of the woman. Like I can make really fancy stuff for the kids. That all day, any day, I will do that. But they
Mhm.
are like a little stick and it's fine. I have learned how to alter things for Angela because she's like so much thinner than most of the stuff. But to fit my body, which is not all one size and changes frequently, that worries me.
Yeah, that's intimidating to me too.
Yeah.
I get that.
Or like I'm losing weight. So do I want to make the pretty shirt right now and then maybe in 3 months it's gigantic? No, not really. You know, but
But I
Brittany
mean,
is
this could be the
adulting
start of something.
tomorrow. So she says good night and happy calamai. So it is calamai for about 30 more minutes.
We made it this far.
Yeah, only if it's on Central Time.
That's true.
Yeah, who knows where they are?
Anybody hear the drum beats? If so, make a run for it. Just go to
Either
Prithian.
that, either
You
that, or
might meet a
avoid
High
your
Lord.
attic. Your
You might,
Jumanji game is going nuts.
yes, you might meet a High Lord and become a High Lady, and it'll be all worth it in the end. It'll be great.
Although the
And
High Lady did celebrate Callan Mine.
and
Oh,
if
that'd
you're
be
a
fun.
Prithian and a woman, you can eat a bunch of food and end up with a womanly body instead of being overweight because they do that twice in the series where
Uh-huh.
they're eating tons of food and they don't get all weirdly shaped. They become fabulous, perfectly shaped women.
Yep.
That's the difference between Fae
Hi,
and Fairy
Faye.
Tale right there.
I know, right? Well, one of them's a human for the first one. Like, this is stupid
Technicality.
and not fair.
Not fair
He's
at
also
all.
19.
Look at that baby getting rocked to bed.
No.
Aw.
His brother's getting a bath back there.
They're
My,
late babies. They just like to be up late.
they, these two, I'll tell you what, they got their schedule mixed up. They like to be up all night, sleep all day.
Oh, I would be not having that. Pauline says she wants to do a wrap skirt from African Ankara fabric. Hopefully I said that right. Don't know it's gonna happen. A wrap skirt I feel like is easier because you can change size and it still fits for the most part, unless you change
I
significantly in size.
considered that, but then I was like, then I have to make some type of top.
So
Or
for a
just wear my
wrap
hat.
skirt for me, I would be very afraid that I would totally screw that up and like flash everybody. That would be my fear. Like I have
That's
a
fair.
wrap dress and it makes me very concerned every time I wear it that I'm just going to end up naked somewhere.
You're
And
just gonna unwrap.
I'm just going to end up naked in the middle of a nice place and then I'm going to be like, "Oh my God." And also I need a different bra with it because I had the full figure old lady bra and not the
I look
one.
nice in a dress
Yes,
bra. Yeah.
exactly. I need one of those. And we all know how painful it is to go bra shopping. So this is
Ugh.
just not on my agenda.
That's like me trying to cut this pattern. It's just not something I want to do, but I'm gonna have to do.
Oh,
Same with bra shopping. I need to go bra shopping. Ugh.
I know. I did it a year ago and I'm sure it's time again. But it's just so painful.
It's kind of worse.
Yeah.
I've switched to sewing for a project now.
Haha.
What are you working on?
I am mending.
Oh well. That's not as fun.
It actually is kind of fun. It's a technique that I found with a gal on TikTok, visible mending.
Yeah, I've seen that concept, but not
Yeah.
that
I
creator.
might have sent you a video or two of hers, but it's like I love what she does. Like watching her videos are like ASMR to me.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
And because her voice is so calm and soothing, and you can hear the thread coming through the fabric and hear the scissors clip, and
That's kind of fun.
I enjoy them a lot.
I enjoy all those sounds like ASMR as well.
Yeah.
I
Very
try really
soothing.
hard when I'm doing actual life tasks sometimes to stop and just listen to the sounds.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
watching other ASMR like videos has kind of taught me to like enjoy the sound of pouring my cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And things like that. Like that can be enjoyable.
Yeah. Like the little things.
Really
Yeah.
just slowing down in life. When you do that, you're just slowing down and just savoring those moments. And that just helps, I think, in this busy world. Online is busy. Our technology is busy. Everything is busy. So when you stop to just listen to those things and or smell, certain
You're in that
things.
moment.
Yes,
Real.
it
All
keeps you
in.
in that moment. Yes.
Instead of somebody else's moment in their video that they made doing the same thing.
Well,
I
just
can't
like
say I've
watching.
ever listened to like my own ASMR. And it's probably because my brain is going a million miles a minute at like all times.
That's
And
fair.
when I was in college, one of my favorite things was as much as I didn't like the pattern prepping part of what because my degree is in fashion design, so we spent a lot of time in the sewing studios. But like I loved listening to my scissors cut the fabric when I was
That is
cutting
a
it out.
fun noise.
Yes. Like I would stop, I would take my headphones out and not listen to music, not listen to my podcast, and just listen to the scissors cutting my fabric.
Yeah.
It is enjoyable. Even just hearing this paper wrinkle can be a little bit enjoyable.
How close are you to done, Chantel? Because we are almost to midnight.
I'm like, always done, but I'm not done. I have no idea where I am on this.
I like to do check marks with the pieces that I've done.
I was trying to kind of go in order, but then I saw a pocket and I was like, ooh, a pocket. And, there we
It's a,
go.
it's a squirrel situation for Chantel.
Mhm.
Here's the skirt
Well, they're
back.
not always
So,
laid out like in order, so it's not like,
no, that was the thing. I was like on one piece and then it was all the pieces for the other
yeah.
skirt. And I kind of was going to do the one type of sleeve and then the other sleeve was available. And so I cut that one out instead because that's apparently the decisions that I make last
Well,
minute is
how about we go until midnight or until Chantel finishes? So we got
It
20
doesn't
minutes.
matter to me. Y'all can be done if you need to be done.
It's all good. I am still pressing. I got a good stack here still going. And my husband
I
is
am
past
tired
that
and could go to
upstairs.
sleep now if I had the chance. But if given the opportunity to stop, might not finish.
I think my girls are probably still awake.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if Lily is still awake. But we do not have swim lessons tomorrow. We are done for the summer. So I do not have to have my children
Nice.
get carted off anywhere.
Right. We're going to the butt side here. All right. Am I still in my picture? Oh, hello.
We can see you slightly.
Just making sure it wasn't like straight rear end,
Yeah, that we're not going to have that kind of quilting on the internet.
Yeah. It's calamai, but
It is.
Anything goes on Calamai.
I heard she had
No.
made an announcement today for ACOTAR Book 6, but I have not researched to see what this is. But
Last time
I
heard
saw
it
some
was-
funny memes. It's supposed to be like a Lucian book.
Oh, was it
really?
Lucy?
Mhm.
That means Lucian and Elaine probably is my guess. Are we going to ship them, do you think?
I
I
think
don't know,
I
they-
don't
Okay,
know.
so has everyone here read ACOTAR? Because I don't want to do spoilers.
Yeah, don't go too
Chantel's,
far.
like,
I'm like
halfway through
halfway through
three.
three.
I haven't read
Okay.
it, but you can spoil it for me. That's okay.
Okay. Well, like since they're mates, supposedly, like is this
Well,
a
but
mate type thing? Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not real wild about the idea of Lucian and Elaine.
so that's the whole thing, right? You can reject it. And so is she going to have her own agency to be able to do that? Or is she going to fall in love with him anyway and they have their own love story?
Yeah. I mean, I would rather
I
have
feel like
her
it's
with
intriguing.
Lucian
But
than Asriel.
they
Oh.
certainly have mentioned where there were mates in the past that were not really well fit for each other, like Tamlin's parents and Rhysand's parents. But
I didn't think they were mates.
they were.
Yeah, they were.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to reread them. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Okay,
I definitely want to reread them before book 6 comes out.
I was looking at the one that I started. I know I downloaded the one, Steph, that you were
The
talking about,
dramatized version.
the roses.
Yeah. The
That
Cornerstones
one.
Roses.
Yeah, I got the dramatized version of that. But one of the ones that you didn't tell me about was The Serpent and the Wings of Night.
I
don't have that
started
one.
that and just have not gotten very far.
Do you not like it?
It just hasn't grabbed me yet, but I'm really very early on.
Okay.
She's also
Basically,
very intrigued
I
by her own book right now.
I
So far,
started that.
I really like it, but
And then I started this vampire smut
Sorry.
book, and then I've been writing my own. So I've just been distracted.
I do like the vampire stories.
Yeah.
And that is something a lot of people don't know about me.
You know what my
because
mom
I'm
liked was Lindsay Sands, and she had a lot of vampire romance books. She was obsessed with them.
I've always read vampire romance books since I was, I don't know, maybe about 12, 13.
Yeah, you
So
would
I
probably
don't
like
really
Lindsay
like
Sands.
them all. I don't necessarily like them all, but when I find a good one, I do like it.
That's me and my Regency romance. I'm like, I just want to go to a ball for the season. Like, take me in your carriage, you rogue. Like, you damn
Basically,
rake. Like, why
I'm
are you being
still
awful?
very much in like the world building part of that book. Like she just went to like the dinner at the night or when everyone's gathering for the big festival, whatever it is.
I haven't started that one yet, but I did see it.
And it was definitely on the list of like, if you like this, then you'll like that.
Oh yeah.
And
Audible is like, buy this book. And I'm like, let me finish the others, yo.
I can totally tell that the author is good at world building. She's got a lot of detail. I can tell that there's some
Ooh.
descriptions. Like she was talking about this painting, is the part where I just read through. And it's just so descriptive that she really likes it. And then this other person looked at it and 99% sure that whoever it was she saw looking at it is the person she's going to end up with. And because that's just how these books go. And
You're like, it's
so
never a stranger that
it's
never comes
never,
back.
no, it's like this guy's admiring the painting and she's admiring him admiring the painting. And they're really doing a lot of description of this painting. And I'm like, this is obviously going to be incredibly significant. So obviously, like they're doing a good job of setting it up and doing it in a way that's not like my 20% plot, 80% spice other book that's, currently wrapped my attention. Which, by the way, I did not think was going to be that like that. I got it because it had multiple points of view of different authors. So I wanted to like listen to that. Like, how do you build the different character voices? But that is
Well,
not what I'm getting from this book.
you also were like intrigued by the fact that it has really good reviews.
I mean, it does.
Which
I
is
don't think what
kind of
they're looking
funny.
for is different than what I'm currently looking for.
Stephanie,
Like,
I feel like you would like the Shepherd King duology.
maybe,
One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns.
maybe.
I have no idea.
I
I finished those. I really enjoyed those.
At this point, when
What
I'm
are they
reading
about?
books, I'm studying for like character development and setting development and how that all works together and the banter and how that all works together and how are we having different points of view and handling that and how are we handling our internal thoughts versus our external thoughts. Like that's the stuff. Like I'm literally analyzing these books because I'm trying to like do it for myself.
Have
Right.
you
And
have you read Dresden Files?
no,
That is really good.
is
And
it?
you might learn a lot of those things
Yeah.
from Dresden Files. It is
I mean,
written really
I've
well.
read so many books, like a ridiculous amount of books, but I've done so many of them on Audible that I feel like I have to read them on paperback because you just take it in a little bit differently
Well,
and
you
like to
miss
see,
quotes versus non-quote moments.
or like, yeah, what's in my head versus what isn't. And um,
Well, couldn't you do the Audible with the um
oh yeah,
read
I've
along?
like, so I read
That
Fourth Wing
called the
three
Amazon
times.
does?
I did
The whisper
it,
sync thing.
Yeah, the
yeah,
whisper.
I did it online or on audiobook and then I read it in paperback and then I read it again for the dramatized version. Caught different things every single time. And I did doing the same thing with Court of Thorns and Roses, that series. So I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm reading it the first time for fun, and then I'm reading it the second time to figure out why does this work so well. And the third time for why does this work so well. And like I was telling Chantel, the reason why I've been back and forth between like all three outlines is because I'm realizing that if I can put like this little tiny thing in here, that it's gonna make like call forward to something else later.
Yeah.
Well, tell him what your husband was asking
I mean,
about the
which
fact that you're
one?
not writing one book at a time.
Yeah. Well, he was wondering about it, and I was like, I don't want it to be like I put something in the first book and then it's out there. And then
Like when people make a
later,
sequel movie because it's
yeah,
going to be profitable, you want it to actually vibe together because they're a set.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like, for example, I decided I'm gonna kill off a pretty major character at the very end of the third book.
Oh, I hate it when authors do that. No, Stephanie, no.
Sorry.
No.
I mean, it's not it's not like the main character, but it's somebody that you're gonna like. Where
We're
you're gonna
gonna
hate
like
him
that.
first. You're gonna hate him first, and then you're gonna like him, and then he's gonna die.
Oh,
And but so
Somebody's got to die. I mean, it's not
somebody
like
has to
it's,
die at the end. It's gonna be
you
a
know.
war. Somebody's got to die. So anyway, so once I decided that though, it made it a lot easier because then I'm like, I can really build him up. I can really repair the relationship that this person has with somebody that we really want to have him have a good relationship with. And then I can give him some good moments, make him funny. And then when I was like going back and messing with the first book, one of the very first lines this person is going to say is that, any death in battle is honorable and, glorious. But then that's how he's going to die. But this person, that's just who he is. He's not a courtier. He's not anything like that. He knows how to use a sword. That's how he rules. And so for him to have that kind of a death fighting for what he believes is the right cause, that's like good for him. So that's why like I've been bouncing around all over the place because it's like we're gonna put that in like book one, and then book three he gets it, and then book two he kind of like we don't like him in book two. He's being kind of manipulated in book two and is being a not good person because he doesn't realize that what's going on right around him and how it's hurting people. So, but
He's got this all figured out. I mean,
yeah,
this is going to be a killer book
maybe,
series.
hopefully, we'll see.
How long are you
But
going to take to write it? Do you have a deadline?
no, not at
I
all.
bet you she'll have a book done in a year for sure.
Like
By the end
my
of the
hardest
year.
part right now is that I have
Got to
I'm
get a
this
literary agent.
well, I need to that I think I have a plan on. I'm getting all these ads, and one of them is for the novelry. And one of the things that they do, they have editors from the top 5 publishers on staff. And it's a cost to it, but basically when you have a finished novel, you can have like the big review where you work with one of these editors. They help you like sync it up, get it where it needs to go. And a lot of their people have then gone on to get major book deals with these 5 publishers and also like movie contracts and things like that. So I think when I'm ready, I'm going to sign up for that course and like, pull it in. The hard part for me right now is that I'm switching love interests between book one and book two. So I like the book two love story better than the book one. So I've been hanging out with that a lot this week. But
We both like book two better.
at some point I have to go back to book one and get it to a point where you're trying to root for these people. But she's very much like the morally gray one. She's not the one who falls first. Like she's very opposite of your typical female main character. She's more like the main male character. So,
Interesting.
like, there's one point that I just wrote where they're having an argument, and she can see the future through her dreams. And she also has a secret that she's having to hold to try to keep people alive, but it's not good for her, like what's coming. And so she's having an argument with her love interest, and they are not solid at this point by any stretch of the imagination. And he like she's basically telling him like I'm telling you what you need to know to stay alive, and because she won't tell him everything, and he's like you need to stop making decisions for me. It's my decision what, you know, I'm willing to risk. And that is very much like a conversation that goes the other way around in most of these books. Usually it's the man who has the information and the woman is the one who's like, stop making my decisions for me.
Right.
So,
Of course, she makes a book about a heroine.
of course.
Well, yeah.
But
Oh, my legs don't want to work anymore, guys. I've been on the floor too long.
but honestly, what I'm officially full time at work now, so I will have more budget. So one of the things I'm going to be doing is taking boxing lessons so that I can write my fight scenes better. And apparently there's some sort of fencing club here locally that I want to figure out if I can do some stuff with. And I'm going to read all Chantel's medieval architecture books. So even once I get everything pretty solid, I still need to like go through and build the world. And right now, almost nothing is in first person. It's all in third. So I have to go through and like mix it all up.
So I don't know. Do you have a storyboard? Do you do anything like that?
No, I started with an outline. So like the very first one was like an outline that ended up being like 50 pages. And then I've been going through and I've been building out from there and putting in dialogue and then building out further to get like the other things that happen in the scene because I had it really solid of like what the love story was, but obviously we can't just have two people falling in love. There needs to be context around all of that. And so I've been messing around with a lot of that and getting other things in there, which helps me develop minor characters and how they relate to the story and who they are and how they're going to talk. And
One
so,
of the things that I like to do when I write um, is I make a Pinterest board
yeah.
and I use all sorts of things like outfits and scenery and everything, and I put it on there to help
Hmm.
develop the environment and the characters and stuff like that. I find I really find that very helpful.
Yeah. This is technically what my degree is in.
Right.
Not that I've ever used it, but
Technically, Gwendolyn
Yeah.
got part of her degree in it too.
Yeah.
did
I
you?
haven't finished my bachelor's, but yeah, I had a minor in creative writing, and my
Did you?
daughter actually graduated with her minor in creative writing, and I taught her um,
That's fun.
English and everything. So,
So you too, you maybe got a book in you too. This literally has been circling around in my head for like 20 years in various forms.
well, that's how it always is,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like
So,
my dress. It's been
We carry
circling
it
around in my
around
head for 20
forever
years.
until we get it out.
although I totally blew up the entire second half of the second book because I decided I liked my evil prince too much and wanted to make him have a kind of redemption arc. And so basically the whole second half of the series has just been like I mean like bits and pieces of like the original I've gotten to put back in different
She
ways.
rewrote the whole thing.
But yeah, it totally got rewritten. But
I
it's been fun.
finished.
Yay!
Yay.
I have like four more to press. So perfect timing. And it's almost midnight.
Oh, we did it. Oh,
This
I
is the
can't
first time
move.
we made it to midnight in a while.
Yeah. When with good company.
I know.
Yeah, I think I'm toast.
It's all
And I
good.
want my burrito now. I'm getting hangry.
We can call it a day.
I'm making some good progress on this, on the patch.
Oh yes.
Oh, that's
It
cute.
looks cute.
Yeah, this is that visible mending technique that I've just fallen in love with.
Courtney, I think, has done some of that.
I could see her doing that.
I'm going to be taking some hand stitching with me for traveling, and I'm also going to take a diamond art set, which I've never did. It's something new.
I've never done those either.
Yeah. So my daughter has did one, and so she's gonna kind of, not that I feel like it's pretty easy. I should be able to figure it out, but she's going to quote teach me unquote.
Yeah.
I'll walk you through it.
Well, that'll be fun.
You'll let her.
My
I
daughter has some Harry Potter ones of those.
Never seen them before. I mean, I've seen them like at Hobby Lobby, but I've actually never seen a completed one.
Of the
I have
diamond
somebody
art.
at work
Mhm.
who does them. She lost an arm, so she can't do things that require two arms for crafting. So she
Mhm.
does diamond art, and she has one that legit is like a 4x5 framed piece of art in her
Oh, wow.
office. It is fantastic and amazing what she does with it.
That's awesome. I love how people are able to adapt to find what they need, you know?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't, because I'm gonna have so much with. I mean, even though the movers have come, they've come and they've taken most of her stuff. We're still gonna have the cars,
Yeah.
bogged down with stuff for the two boys, and I have it halfway packed. So we're leaving this week, but I don't want to take a whole lot for me. I want most of the space to be for
For
her
them.
and
For
me.
them, yeah.
Yeah, and
Makes
for
sense.
them. So I figured, well, just a small hand stitching kit with a little bit of embroidery, a little few hexies and stuff in there, and a diamond art shouldn't take up too much. So
Mhm.
Yeah, that won't be bad at all.
give me something to do while I'm out there in the middle of the desert,
Mhm.
away from civilization.
Ooh.
Where are you going, Gwendolyn?
Oh, they are moving to White Sands, New Mexico,
Okay.
which is in the middle of nowhere and away from everything. Literally, the driver of the moving van, he goes, yeah, he goes, enjoy civilization while you have it, because he goes,
My goodness.
literally, there's nothing out there. Like
Oh, boy.
there's a small town about 35 minutes, but it's like not even 5 miles wide. I mean, that's
Goodness.
how small it is. And the biggest, I guess you go up, I think, to Albuquerque, I think it is. But that's several hours away. And then Fort Bliss is down on the border, and it's about an hour and 15 minutes away. So it's still considerably far.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be a change. And
There's
then
nothing Amazon can't reach, right?
I know. And then uh I didn't mention it before, but I will mention it now. My husband is looking for a job. He got laid off a while back.
Oh.
So we're in transition ourselves. And so he's been putting in applications all over. So we don't even know where we're gonna end up.
Mhm.
How about White Sands, New Mexico?
Well, that's the thing. You would
I
think.
hear it is a real kicking place.
Well, so that'll be interesting in the upcoming months. But yeah, if you guys could send prayers and good
Yeah.
vibes,
That's hard.
Absolutely.
for
I
him
mean,
to get something,
I've
that
been
would be
I've
great.
been where you're at, so I understand.
It's tough, I can't say that we've ever been in this station. Of course, when we were younger, him getting out of college, looking for a job, but still, I was working and stuff, so we still, had
Mhm.
something. It's a lot different now because, I take care of the boys and help my daughter
Mhm.
so much. And yeah, and it was, of course, unexpected. It's different
Yeah.
when you're going to be graduating college, you're going to have this transition, you can prepare for it and stuff. So it kind of caught us off guard, but we're keeping our chins up and, you know, just looking
Well,
forward to, I guess, a change. I'm not super great with change. I don't know how y'all feel about change. So
It's
change is,
scary.
it
When
is,
I
it is
didn't choose
scary.
it, I don't like it.
Yeah.
accurate.
So it's
You
a,
could say that
it's a
again.
little got me a little bit uneasy. I'm off my game a little bit, I feel like, just in life in general. But the other side of that is I'm kind of excited for something new and different. And I know that that sounds weird because, like, on one side, you're terrified of the change, but on the other side, you're like, oh no,
Let's
what's
see what this
fun?
has. Yeah.
Yeah, what could be fun over here and stuff. So it'll be interesting to
How
find
long
out.
have you lived in your home?
20 22 years since two.
Yeah.
Well, we've lived in this town. Let me rephrase. We've lived in this town since he joined the military in 2003, and we bought this home in 2006. So
So
19
you've been
years.
in the same place for a long time. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
something could be fun, but
Yeah, yeah, 19 years in this house. So it's I do not look forward to the work of having to move a home for sure. But
especially something you lived in so long. But
oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
our thoughts and prayers for sure. And
for sure.
we're a
thank you.
call away.
Yes.
Okay.
You
Keep in
got a
touch.
sleepy baby. Oh,
I
Yes.
know.
It is past midnight. You gotta put a baby down.
we
Well,
got to put the babies down.
Thank you for hanging with us tonight.
It was
Happy Cal and
lovely
I.
seeing you guys again, and
Tell them
oh,
over.
I missed you
I
all
mean,
so much.
It is. I mean,
oh, we missed
they're
you all
still
too.
celebrating. Let's be honest. They're still celebrating in Prithian. It's fine.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Bye,
Bye, everybody.
everyone. Happy
Bye.
quilting.